my thoughts end when I start to think. Oh, the door closest starts to end up on the brink. I tried so hard, but all these scars, they cut so deep, I bleed. I fell so fast from heaven, it's like someone clipped my wings. Now I'm falling, and I can't see the ground. Can we stop this gravity? It keeps bringing me down. I can't breathe and I don't wanna die. Can we stop this gravity? 'Cause I don't wanna say goodbye. I forgive the pain you gave to me so long ago. Sleepless nights I laid awake just begging to let go. I almost got to suicidal thoughts, but you stepped in. An angel sent from heaven showed me how to live again. Now I'm falling, and I can't see the ground. Can we stop this gravity? It keeps bringing me down. I can't breathe and I don't wanna die. Can we stop this gravity? 'Cause I don't wanna say goodbye. My love, I'm gone. I need to be strong. The darkness had tried to swallow me. Some things I fall, but I hear your call. I pray I don't hit the ground. Gravity. 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 Gravity.
Said that you moved on. Where did I go wrong? I tried to make you stay, but I guess my love wasn't enough. Was it me or was it you, love? 'Cause I'm dying to know. Why do you wanna end? Was it real or just pretend? Tell me, why do you wanna end? Was he really just a friend? No sign of you at all. Just pictures on these walls, reminding me of how you threw away all that we've gone through. Was it all just a game to you? 'Cause I'm dying to know. Why do you wanna end? Was it real or just pretend? Tell me, why do you wanna end? Was he really just a friend? 'Cause it's plain in my head, every word that you said, I ain't worked it out yet. So why do you wanna end? Was it real or just pretend?
not going to find any kills, gets a lot of damage. Juby and Beckham trading with these assault rifles. Kaplan trying to get onto that site, but can't quite make it through. Does get one through the smoke. Blast going to trade it back. Kaplan with the third through the stun. The diffuser still going down. Can he find them in time? He can! He's for Kaplan!
The opposing opponent picking up from ground, he could move into position, but the second opens up, and immediately two down here as AV strikes first and then strike quickly. Almost all of the kid falling apart. Smith coming here for the upper short. Striker J gets a triple, but to get a quadra. And
Top shot, and now you have to deal with 3 more. You get one through the smoke, a triple kill no less. Is he able to find it? No, through the smoke. He's able to find a
Gets
second
two.
one. That's a quad kill.
Hello and welcome back to the Pit of Valor. My name is Keg and I'm joined by my amazing co-caster Endless. What's up, guys? How's it going?
It's definitely
Hello?
going good. I mean,
Hey,
yeah, I mean, let's see. We're back Wednesday. It's Pit of Valor every Wednesday.
Yes.
Super exciting. Do want to bring to everyone's attention though, we've done the Swiss bracket last time. It didn't work out the best, so we're actually switching it back to our single elimination bracket until the grand finals.
we just don't have enough hours in the day to do a whole entire Swiss bracket at times. I mean, look, our sleep schedules are still messed up from the last time we did it, and as much as we love doing it for you guys, I mean, look, I've had a horrible case of insomnia ever since.
Yeah, I mean, as fun as it was watching Ascent that many times, I think it was a little bit too much. Hopefully we get to see a little bit of a few different maps this time, but nonetheless, we're here, we're excited. Even if it's a Ascent filled tournament, we're happy to cast it.
See, you say that, and now I'm thinking we're going to see either nothing but Ascent, or we're just going to see Icebox all the way through.
Hey, I mean, if it's Icebox, it's a good change of scenery.
Is it?
I mean, starting to play it a little bit more. I'm kind of enjoying it a little bit more, I would say. But hey, it's a different group of colors that we can see throughout the map. It's probably good for the eyes.
I mean, it's a lot of blue, but when I play Icebox, I feel like I just did a whole term, like semester's worth of studying at the end of it.
Yeah, I
It's
mean,
just it's a mental fog.
for sure, for sure. And I mean, at the end of the day, I'm happy to see any type of map. We have a few returning teams as well. I think we have 38 teams in this whole tournament right now, so it's going to be a pretty fun packed one. Do you have any favorites going into this?
Oh man, I can't be that biased, Endless. I mean, I can be a little bit biased though. I mean, there are some that I do like out there. Unfortunately, I didn't really get a chance to come and see what the full team lineups are going to be, but we do have two amazing teams that we're going to be seeing here. And of course, we're going to have to see one of those teams move on forward into the bracket. And I have a feeling whoever's going to win this one might be one of our favorites going to the grand finals. I just have a sneaking suspicion.
Yeah, I mean, we have teams like even Red Lotus that's coming back, and I think there was another one. What was that team name? I can't remember off the top of my head, but they did. I do remember they went 3-1 last week. But I
In the
mean,
grand
again,
finals?
no, 3-1 throughout the brackets. So they almost made it
Oh.
into the semis. But Titan and Oblivion, I mean, I haven't seen either team play yet, so I'm not too sure what to expect. But it seems to be, I think the map is going to be bind. So I mean, what a great start to begin with. It's not Ascent, so phew.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think Ascent's a bad map, but when you see it 17 times in a single tournament, it can be at least it's a good way of practicing your callouts.
Definitely, and I mean, good to see Bind being a traditional map, especially from the beta. I like to see time and time again the meta changing, right? Whether it be the first person that started that Omen TP that kind of brought that into meta, to now even the Silver Dart being able to be shot from hookah into TP to be able to clear that as well. People are just coming up with crazy new tactics, and it's so awesome to see every single time. So I'm super curious to see if any of these teams have something cool up their sleeves that we've never seen before, and just overall how their playstyle kind of matches against each other.
I mean, it's a strong possibility that we could see something new here tonight, but you're completely right about Bind. You know, ever since even the beta, since the release and all that other fun stuff going forwards, what we've been seeing a lot is, you know, the gimmick of Bind being the teleports going one way or across each of the sites, but even then, just playing around with it, experimenting. The huge rotate factor that involves itself around on the attacking side is gigantic for this map, and it's completely different from anything else.
Yeah, and realistically on this map, getting that shower control or even hookah control, those are two crucial choke points that you would ideally want to gain control of because just that area basically controls the whole map, right? And
Yeah.
it forces a lot of, rotations and misdirection. So I'm super curious to see how aggressive they get, whether it's a defensive side aggression or um, you know, just aggression overall on the attack side. And it really depends how much control they get or how early on they get it to be able to cheat over to sites and just kind of be able to hold that site even better.
But now here's a crazy question for you, and I think we saw it in the last pit of Valor just a little bit. Are you Team Brimstone or are you Team Omen given the recent changes that have happened to both their kits?
I think Brimstone is still super strong. On this map, I think it's really strong.
I need a
Um
new co-caster. It's Team Omen. Come on, man.
Omen is good too. But with Brimstone, I've seen a lot of misdirection with their smokes now because of the range increase, and the ultimate coming into play, clearing up sites and just helping that overall quick take or post plant does help quite a bit. Omen, I feel, especially on this map specifically, is a little bit less productive in that sense because the most you can really do is the paranoia, which is still amazing. But the teleporting, a lot of people kind of predict where you're going to teleport. So whether you're really able to teleport to wrap a site or you're just teleporting for info, that's not enough. But with Brimstone and the mollies and lineups, I mean, there's just so much time to delay. So for this specific map, I would say I'm Team Brimstone. But for every other map, I would say Omen does do really, really good job.
See, I think you bring up a great point because I believe it was another League's tournaments that we saw, like one of the tier 2 ones where we saw recently Brimstone being used super aggressively on A side, being able to smoke down on the top of the you know, it's been months, I still know what's called the armored car going outside of lamps, and then having Jet go from point A right in front of the teleporter in the smoke there. The smoke number 2 being on top of the car and her updrafting her way in there, going from behind lamps, getting so many kills across the board. That's the power of the Omen that we're seeing now with his recent changes. But that's only a small circumstance, though, Endless. Think about all the crazy aggressive maneuvers you can still do with Omen and his smokes on Bind.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely either one, as long as each team has a smoke, that's the
True.
best. I mean, I've seen a lot of people, especially with the nerf on Jet smokes, making her more of a duelist again instead of a smoker. I mean, it does change a lot again. I don't know why they really extended her smokes to begin with, but I'm happy they did change that back and kind of force the situation to be able to actually have a controller on the team instead of just all duelists and sentinels being able to utilize jet smokes and her ability to just dash everywhere. I mean, that's very crucial. So I'm very excited that they did switch that back.
I'm excited too. I think we'll see a lot more aggressive Jet play again coming into today.
hmm So I
But,
mean,
ooh,
yeah,
well, I mean, I was just gonna say I can't wait to get to see this match started because I want to prove you wrong. That's Team Omen still.
yeah. I
But
mean,
I keep
we'll see.
tripping over you. I'm sorry.
It's okay. It's okay. We'll see. I mean, I'm still gonna go Team Brimstone here. I want to
Ah,
see
come on, man.
either Titan or Oblivious choose a Brimstone and an Omen. So we could kind of actually have that battle to see, is it Team Brimstone or Team Omen on this map?
But you know where else we can see battles on here? We're actually going to have a Pro-Am coming up very soon in just a short little while. It's not going to be today, but it's going to be a little ways away where you get to see a whole bunch of crazy action come on through from a lot top tier teams. Now again, we can extend this Brimstone Omen conversation all day, but where it really matters, of course, is going to be the grand finals of the Pit of Valor tonight, and going forwards, the Pro-Am as well is going to be the eye of the prize for just about every single team that's signed up in GLG in history.
Yeah, and for the teams that are Immortal Plus, I mean, this is the tournament for you to really shine and prove what you're capable of. Whether you're a tier 3 or whatnot team, this is the opportunity to really get noticed. Even if you're a tier 2 team, we have 4 qualifiers for this. It's $100 per first place prize, and on top of that, the top 2 teams of each qualifier actually advance to the grand finale, which is a $2,000 grand prize event. So I mean, that's a huge prize pot, especially for this kind of a tier. And again, for what it takes, it's a great opportunity to get you noticed. Add that little bit of glory. We might even be able to cast your matches. What more do you
Oh,
want?
I mean, look, compared to Pit of Valor, where you come away with $50 in the grand prize, 2 grand is a lot. Now, Endless, I'm awful at math. I'm notoriously bad at it. How many 50s go into 1,000? See, none of us know. We're casters, not mathematicians. Let me hold on. Let me take it.
400?
Is that your final guess? You're on Jeopardy right now. You got to say in the form
No,
of
no,
the
no, 40,
sentence.
40, isn't it?
It's what is 40?
Yeah, you're right. You're right. What is 40? What is 40?
It is 40. Congrats. You are a human calculator.
There we
Tough
go.
enough.
There we go.
That's good.
But
I mean, I failed every single math class in college so far. I don't think I'm going to graduate at this point.
hey, but at the end of the day, Valorant does all the math for us. It adds up the scores.
Exactly.
I mean, that's all we need to know. We just need to know how to count to 13 and call it a day.
And believe me, that's a struggle too. But at least we can make it that far usually while we're casting. Plus, all the given APIs and everything on the back end make it so much easier for teams just like you to be able to find out your statistics on match winnings, round winnings per map, and even what best comps seem to work out for you against yourself and the enemy. So it's always a great thing to take advantage of, and you could be like, not like me and not have to use a calculator for anything and make your life a whole lot easier. But all of that knowledge, Endless, applies to the Pro-Am event. Again, Immortal 1, all those players already know how to use all those statistics, but it's up to them now to take all that math, all that knowledge, and apply here for that $2,000 prize.
Yeah, and I mean, at the end of the day, if you're not ready for that stage, if you just want practice, next week's Pit of Valor registrations are already open. So be sure to sign up. It's for all ranks. It gains your opportunity to, build that chemistry with your team, whether or not you're, immortal or not. Have fun, come out, practice in that team environment. We might even be casting your matches as well in that. And it's a great opportunity. It's great exposure. And there's no practice better than the tournament atmosphere, in my opinion.
That's true. I mean, it's like trying to go to work in retail, right? The best place to practice retail is to work in retail. And if you can't make it even into the Valor Challenger circuit, this is a great place to get yourself that, extra reinforcements to figure out what that final step is to make sure you can at least get to the teeny tiny bit of tier 1. And then from there, it's usually wraps. You can always bring it on forwards and go to the grand championships.
Yeah, and again, this tournament, I mean, we're happy to do it weekly. It is sponsored by our great friends at Drink Control. So if you guys didn't know, I mean, we have a code GLG10. Use it; it gets you 10% off, and you're entered monthly to win basically a large bag. I mean, for free. So
Yeah.
what more can you ask for?
Hey, look, in this current economy, it's very hard to find really good tote bags or whatever kind of facilities you want to put your items in. It can be really hard to find something that works well. And so, not only that, but also getting a meal replacement plan on top of it is going to work out so well. Have you tried Drink Control yet, Endless?
Yes, I have. I actually have some over
Oh,
here.
really? What flavor?
I have what was it? Birthday cake, I believe.
Oh, nice. I haven't tried the birthday cake one. I've tried
Mhm.
the brownie one. It was weird
Mm.
because I'm see my big concern going into it was that I'm lactose intolerant. So I wasn't sure if there would be enough dairy in there in the powder itself to make me sick. And guess what? It didn't. It didn't make me sick at
Wow.
all. That's a 100% endorsement from right there from me.
You know, I'm actually waiting for the cookies and cream one. I mean, cookies and cream have
Ooh.
it's just been my favorite type of whether chocolate bar, Oreos in general. I'm just waiting for that meal replacement from Drink Control. Can't wait to try that. But once that gets in, oh, I'm sure I'm gonna enjoy it. I've heard nothing but great things about it so far.
I can already hear production screaming at my ear about all these potential, products that we're not supposed to mention, but I have to know right now. White chocolate Hershey bars. What do you think about them? Yay or
I
nay?
love them. I love them.
Yeah? Oh, whew. All right. So we do just find out though we are having a bit of a switch up. So we're going to be on the cams for a little bit longer, but we do have some better, maybe better teams coming on forwards that should bring us all the way to the top to the grand finals potentially tonight. Really can't wait to see both of these teams. We know one is going to be Team Identity and the other team is a bit of a mystery team at the moment, but we're going to save that one for you guys to be revealed once we see the full matchup. Endless, I'm super excited now.
I'm excited as well. But the number one thing I'm thinking about right now is the map gonna change?
Oh no, that sounds like real bad company if it does.
I think
Guess what? That's the other team.
I think it might even change back to a set. I don't know.
All right. That's fine. Look, as long as it's not Icebox, that's all I care about.
That's true. I mean, I would love to see the new split being played.
It's true.
Haven't really got to see a lot of competitive play on it. So that's definitely something I want to see. But something's telling me no one really wants to play split.
Hmm. No split at all, huh? I mean, split's new changes are interesting. I have played a few ranked games with them. I haven't seen any competitive matches with split just yet. But given the small changes that have come to a lot of the really power positions, I guess you could say, that were removed on the defensive side, I think they were positive changes. Split feels a lot more even now, both in terms of attack and defense, and I'm really most curious to see what the championship circuit and below that entire pyramid can bring into the table. But it seems like we're just about ready to get started with this first matchup. I hope maybe we can see Split at sometime soon, Endless, and maybe we can finally see the new Split together.
Definitely. I mean, that's the
Production is asking if it's Split. No, it is not Split.
I
It's
don't think
Icebox.
so. Is it Icebox?
It is Icebox, yes. You
Oh.
can't hear them, but I can hear them.
Oh wow.
Is it really Icebox? Joking.
Hold
I was
on, hold
joking,
on.
production. You don't listen to me. I'm just a caster. Oh, it's Haven. It's
It's
Haven.
Haven. Okay.
It's Haven.
So that's why I was like super confused. I was like, hold on, hold on. Out of all the maps possible, did they
It's Haven.
really
It's
just
Haven.
choose Icebox?
No, no, it's Haven. It's Haven. The good thing
That's
about Haven, though, is that we have seen this map time and time again. It's older than Father Time itself. And I really can't wait to see how the aggressiveness of the attack is for both of these teams. Given the recent changes to the meta, like you mentioned, Endless yourself, the smokes coming out from Jet, now over half, I think it's almost exactly half, chopped in half, in terms of how long it is for the duration. I really can't wait to see what kind of aggressive play can come out here. And maybe some
yeah.
Omen.
See, this is where I would agree. Okay, Omen works really well on this map. Now, with it being 3 sites, the defense generally is already spread quite thin. So, with the defensive team, generally the best way to play it is to get a little bit more aggressive, get some early info early on, and be able to cheat rotates over. Now, the teams that are playing passive, a lot of them tend to play a sentinel soloing A, setting up tripwires or, swarm grenades or whatever they might be, and overall just play a retake on A. But those that want to play a little bit more aggressive, they tend to push out A or long C to kind of get that early info, like I was mentioning. But I'm curious. I don't know what. Again, I haven't seen either of these teams as well, so we're happy to see new teams join our Pit of Valors every Wednesday. And I mean, getting to know these teams week after week, I'm excited to see.
I'm really excited to see too. You know, there's so much hypotheticals we could discuss about these two teams because, frankly, we don't have much information, if at all, about them other than their names. And so, you know, we could just debate all day Omen versus Brim or something like that. But I think the real big question now is Killjoy or Cypher?
On a map like this, I would say Cypher is very crucial with the cam, right? And because they have a nerf Cypher like Killjoy, where you have to be in a certain radius in order to, access the turret or anything like that, you can access the cam anywhere throughout the map. So I would still say Cypher on this map.
Okay. Well, we'll have to cipher our way through this next matchup. I believe we're just about ready to get into the match, and we can see exactly what kind of Sentinels we can bring out, what kind of controllers are going to come to the table. And you know, we kind of touched upon all three different kind of the food groups, right? Endless, because we need to see if Jet, the duelist, will see if her smokes are going to be just as pivotal as they used to be.
Yeah, I think with the short duration, you can still utilize the smokes quite well, especially with, like, for example, on attacking side, the cross on A. Instead of using a cipher cage, for example, you could just throw a quick smoke and dash across, or even fake dash, right? And with Jet and her dash ability, I mean, nowadays, I mean, we've seen it last week as well. A lot of fake dashes, right? But once you generally hear that dash, you look everywhere. You don't know which direction they went. Um, so it's pretty crucial. But like you mentioned, we're gonna head into the character selection here and see what comp they pick.
Oh? Is that Omen and a Jet? Endless, I think our dreams are coming true.
Here it is. Here it is.
It is on the
And a
defense,
cipher?
though. Ooh, but that's on the defense, though. We want to take an eye on the attack as well. Oh, it's not gonna be Viper, and it's a Brimstone. It's interesting because a lot of the teams we've been seeing in the tier 2 and tier 3 scene usually start their attacking Haven with Brimstone. Regardless of their if they're regular Brimstone players or not, they always start with a Brimstone lately. And I think that's really interesting. And I'm wondering if that's going to go in correlation with the Cypher pick and potentially a second duelist coming out from Tom's side.
Yeah, I'm liking the Reyna pick, though, on Hunto there. And I mean, unfortunately, this isn't the map that I really wanted to do that Omen and Brimstone matchup. But I'm curious to see. I mean, I'm not 100% sure, but correct me if I'm wrong. I think they also nerfed Omen's teleport to be a shorter range, right?
I believe they may have nerfed his teleport a little bit, but they definitely nerfed his paranoia to be the width to go smaller, and it would increase more in price. So you can't bring out the paranoia in all of his kit utility in the first round, which sucks. But it still makes him still pretty powerful. He's still such an aggressor, a great aggressor. But here we go. We go into round number 1. Identity versus bad comp.
Yeah, and overall, I would say their comps are pretty even, minus the Reyna factor. I mean, no Jet, but Reyna, and everyone else seems to be pretty on par. So I'm curious to see. Curious to see how aggressive they get, what kind of info they can get early on. If Identity is one of those teams that like to play a little bit more aggressive on defense, or just play more traditional and play retakes.
I really want to see how Nart is going to play with this Jet pick, right? Because it's going to be on the defense first, and there's a lot of defensive options for a Jet, right? But you're going up against a very aggressive, or what I can assume will be an aggressive Reyna here. But right away, we do see the majority of Bad Company's team playing around inside of a lobby. Haven't quite decided where to go up first yet, but the controller is completely gone already. Endless. That Omen we were talking up so much, already completely gone within seconds.
I mean, I don't want to start it off by saying Team Brimstone yet, but
Shut
may
your
be
mouth.
the case.
Last player standing.
Oh, but this might just be team bad comp overall. Hunto taking down Steezy as well. Plants to be going down in A.
Spike
It's down to
planted.
Nart being the last one alive. Trapped above in heaven, slowly coming up forwards though. It's gonna be a right click headshot from Nova, taking down Nart, and that's gonna be a very clean round number 1. A flawless one, no less.
Yeah, and it kind of, it wasn't just flawless. I mean, I don't know if you paid attention to the damage that they took as well. They barely took any damage, and it looks to see they're pretty confident. They're buying up 2 Vandals here with light armor, and I mean, if Identity is able to win this round, that will kind of mess up Bad Company.
That's right. It's gonna put Bad Company in what we call ping pong economy. Either they could try to save again for a few rounds, or they're gonna go bounce back and forth between save rounds and having full buys. But already we do see some trades coming out from Garage. Hunto does find Steezy, but it's gonna be Duelist versus Duelist now. Losing down some of your utility right off the rip. Feud is able to find Huncho as well, but Endless, they're still gonna be pushing on through the smokes. Only one's gonna be on B side. It's gonna be the Omen once again, but hiding away in the back of B. It seems like it all might be a distraction, waiting for that Omen to cross around. But no, instead Little Smudge goes for it. ID Ren's able to get the trade, but it's only gonna be 2 left alive, stuck in B site, having to go for a 2v3 retake.
Yeah, Identity has done a pretty good job so far already getting, I mean, 2 of Bad Company's players down and getting some guns on them. They're just trying to, at this point, probably trying to hurt their economy as much as possible. But Hanto with that flank from Garage and takes out Ren and Dog Eater. And I mean, losing 2 people, I don't think those are the 2 people that had guns.
It's a tough position to be in. We already see a complete full buy coming out from everyone on Bad Company's side. Identity now, they're in a tough position to be in. They're going to try to force up as well. Some of their players do have somewhat of an economy, but even then, if they lose this force up round, they'll be in a similar situation, Endless, than what you had said in the beginning of the last round. They'll have to go into that ping pong economy and have to save for maybe even more than 1 round in a row.
Yeah, and it seems like they're kind of defaulting closer towards A, and they're going to group up and probably try for an A split. And Hanto takes out Nart, and I think there's only Cypher left in sight, which gets taken out by Little Smudge. And I feel like they just took sight without any contest.
Yeah, I'm not really sure where these Cypher traps are supposed to be. I understand the Cypher went down right off the rip, but Steezy now having to fight back everything now, has to fight through the smoke. Owl Drone going to be deployed. Will that be enough to identify where the Phoenix is? It's only the small barrel of the gun. Either way, information's information. Steezy's gonna push up, able to find Nova. That's gonna be a huge duelist off the board. But really, the prime person you want to look out for is Hunto right now. Able to stay alive, able to find Ren, no less too. Hunto finds Feud, but Endless with only 2, maybe almost 1 left alive. Hunto's gonna fall, bringing things for the first time ever in a round, a 2v2, an even man count.
Yeah, oh, that Molly did a lot of damage, but be able to come in last second and take out Huncho Rancho. And man, that was a close round. I would say there was a lot of 1-by-1 peaks by Identity there. They were all group CT, unfortunately, and they weren't really able to get into sight without losing that many people. But I think the biggest issue there was they weren't really communicating as to when they were supposed to retake, because people just tried to go in 1-by-1, and that didn't really help them.
And keep in mind, too, the first person off the board, too, was the Cypher pick on Identity's side. All the traps and all the preparations that were there for Identity's defense were completely gone. There was nothing to stop Bad Company from just racing on in.
Exactly, and I mean, we've seen their hold at A, and it looks like they're defaulting up at C here, and C is completely open without anyone watching it. You have Huncho in Garage that's gonna run it back and try to get as many kills as possible here, but unfortunately gets taken out, and Hunto with this... Oh, he just came out of C? Went back in Garage?
Well, this is a interesting situation to be in if you're Identity. Everything you've tried so far, whether it be A site twice or C site only once, has not worked out effectively, pretty much at all. The crux of this right now, I would say, Endless, has to rely on Dog Eater still. You have to stop them with the mobile utilities that you have. You don't have the Brimstone to counter smoke anything, really. You have to rely on the Omen too. It's a very aggressive comp that they have, and being on the defense first is really hurting them.
Definitely. I think Dog Eater really needs to start sitting back a little bit, because if they're getting up A and he's the first one dying, everything he set up is essentially null and void. And Ren starting off the round with a big kill on Nova. I mean, this is a good start. As long as they're playing more disciplined and they're playing together, I think they should be able to take this round.
They very well could. This is the first time that we've seen Identity get an opening pick, and Hanjo's able to make that a double opening pick. It's gonna be a trade, though, coming out from Feud, however. The damage has already been done. The Duelist, he did his job. He took down not only the only smoker that a bad comp has, but also found the Duelist as well. With that being said and done, a lot more pressure is gonna be put on to the rest of the team, though. Hunto needs to find at least one, and usually a 3K is his middle name. Hunto pushing up, is able to find one, but has to steal it away. Around the corners could be the Jet as well, able to find that one head as well. Could be a triple, but not able to find any bodies just yet. Surrounded though completely. Steezy's gonna fall next. Only one left alive, and it's gonna be Dog Eater again. You said he was playing too fast last time. Now he's playing too slow, and Little Smudge is gonna find Spy versus Spy. Dog Eater's gonna be taken down. That's 4 in a row for Bad Company.
Yeah, it looks like Dog Eater isn't
5 in a row.
really
Can't do
really
math.
sure. He's not really sure as to what he should be doing right now. He's kind of playing apart from the team. He's not retaking together. You're right. He's either playing too aggressive or he's playing too passive. But Hunto, I mean, that Reyna diff right now, it's huge. He's just opening up rounds left, right, and center.
I mean, that's the absolute crux of the round, and we haven't really seen a position where Hunto has been taken down. If Hunto is the opening pick, I really think Identity can win the round because we just have not seen the rest of Bad Company perform. Not in a good or a bad way, it's just that Hunto's stealing the show completely.
Yeah, and it looks like Ren is kind of stuck, but that Brimstone smoke actually saves him. It allows him to kind of fall off and regroup with the team and hopefully go for a retake, but the entire team of Bad Company is essentially in B site holding post plants, aside from their Reyna, which is still lurking top mid near window for that garage flank. So I think this is a round for Bad Company, but I guess not.
Ren, though, was able to find 2. Nova comes in back and clutches it out. A 4K coming out from Nova, seemingly out of nowhere, wiping away all the defenders on the site. That was a complete melt away. Phoenix is a Radiant Warrior of Fire, and he was able to microwave everybody on the site.
Yeah, I honestly thought Identity had that round there when they started opening up those picks. Then I looked at the scoreboard and remembered Hunto was still alive, but Nova able to just get that 4K by himself without any help. It just shuts down all their dreams.
So we have 2 powerful duelists on Bad Company's side. Identity needs Nart to step it up a little bit more. We did mention this is a very aggressive comp from their end as well, so the game is not over yet. They have to swap sides. Speaking of which, though, speak of the devil, Nart is able to find a double kill on A Long. Finally able to wake up a little bit more. Things are looking positive in the favor of Identity this round. It's going to be up to what seems like almost a forceful push from the rest of Bad Company to have to make their way going forwards. Feud able to get a Hunter's Fury, going to be taking down Dog Eater. That's going to even things out a little bit more with all the ults going around everywhere. Hunter and Little Smudge are able to clear out the site. Nart's able to stay alive, but fall right away. Only one left alive now is going to be Steezy. Endless in a 2v1. No Hunto, no Muncho alive. This could be a possibility. Never mind.
Yeah, I mean, Nart really tried to do everything he could this whole round, and I just think Dog Eater wasn't really playing in the right spot. I mean, he's playing up close short. He knows he needs to stay alive for his tripwires and cages to actually come into play. And again, I mean, it's just the lack of knowing when to be aggressive, when to be passive, and it kind of bites them in the back.
And I'm glad you brought that up too, because we've been seeing Dog Eater play the same exact position verbatim every single round so far. Look on the minimap right now. We can see him with the the tripwires again on A short. Nova's able to find Ren right off the rip, so smokes are almost completely off the table, minus some smoke, minus some splashes, but Nova's able to find Huncho anyways. There are some trades kind of going throughout, but mostly it's in the disadvantage of Identity. 3 ults on the board for Bad Company, and already Hunto has his eyes on the sights of C. Steezy's the only one on site right now. He's being a distraction while the rest of the company's going towards A. Dog Eater's the last one alive and needs to hold down the fort, but he's gonna fall immediately.
I'm not sure what to say. It seems as if Dog Eater has just been either too aggressive or too passive to the point where he's the last man standing and he's stuck in a position where he really can't get any picks off. But it seems to be a wash right now when you have Hunto just walking up long C, even being caught off guard, able to get that flick and instant kill on Stysian. And I mean, this is looking like a very difficult game for Identity to actually come back in.
Yeah, Identity needs to step it up right now before they go into the second half. Already 8 rounds in. Hundo finds Ren once again. The smoke's completely off the board. I don't think we've seen an Omen smoke at all this game. Little Smudge and Nova are gonna fill the kill feed up with their own shots once again. And only Nart left alive now, searching around, playing the lurking game on the B site. Approaching B window, it's not a do or die just yet, but they seem to have a pretty good idea where Nart's gonna be. And Hondo's gonna push up, using the Vandal, able to find the headshot, another triple kill. Flawless, no less, on that round. 9 in a row now, Endless. If you're in Identity's position, you mentioned Dog Eater, but what about the rest of the team getting picked off so quickly?
No, that's definitely true. I feel like their setup is, I mean, although they could be in the right positions, they're not really communicating and setting up any crossfires or any attempts to trade for that matter. And you're right. I mean, we haven't seen a single Omen smoke really at all. And I mean, is it safe to say it's Team Brimstone?
You monster. They'll bring it back. Oh, look, an Omen smoke. Okay, so we do see some coming out, and this is a really good defensive posture from Ren. Being able to block out B window, being able to block out B main has been a huge point of aggression for Bad Company these last few rounds. This could potentially force Bad Company to rotate around to a different site, all covered in cyber tripwires and cyber cages, like Dog Eater on A. But it seems like they still want to go for B main instead. They're able to find the kill feed once again, completely Nart though with a judge, able to find a double kill no less. It seems like Identity may have found their groove, Endless.
It seems to be, but unfortunately, Food able to take out Stysian, and it brings them to a 3v2 situation. And right now, Nart understands they're planning C, but just misses the Sova, but comes back, but Food still able to take him out, which only leaves Dog Eater once again, who was nowhere close to C, and he's kind of just stuck in this situation. And I mean, Food cleans it up with a 3K.
This is a rough first half for Identity. This is a rough first half. And I mean, looking at everything right now, Dog Eater, not a single kill on the board right now. There are some members of Bad Company who haven't shown up much on the scoreboard either. This is completely a game of the duelists right now.
Yeah, the combo of Hunto and Nova, I mean, them just having their presence, I feel right now, Identity's overall confidence is already lacking. And the second they see them, either one of them, they tend to run back up. And I think there's just a lack of communication. And it's just a different class right now. And I mean, right now they're just setting up into a default. Feud able to just walk in the garage, take out Hancho, and B taking out Nart. I mean, they're just picking off people one by one.
This is an interesting position to be in. Ren's able to find potentially a double kill. He's going to get traded out by Nova. However, the spike does go down on B. I'm just going to give Tell where the spike's most likely going to end up going, though, because it's already dedicated into the middle of the site. But with all that being said and done, Dog Eater, last one alive now, needs to rotate from A site into the link area of B, but he's already surrounded in 3 different angles. Pushing up from behind to be Lit Smudge. Looking around to see if that headshot's going to go into fruition, and of course it does. Lit Smudge able to find Dog Eater once again, ending the round now. Almost flawlessly in this first half. 11-0. If Bad Com can get this next round, unless they only need to win the pistol round.
Yeah, I mean, it's looking like they're gonna win this round, especially with the economy that Identity has right now, with light armor on both their Phantom and Vandal players, and even one of their Spectre players. But I'm happy Dog Eater is at least on the scoreboard now. But again, there's just a lack of communication. He's always delayed on the take, and it just doesn't seem like the play.
Already Nova just walks in like he owns the place, finding Steezy. It's gonna be the running back though, going back. Hundo's able to find Nart as well, and it's gonna be a complete slaughter fest on the kill feed yet again. ID Ren's able to find another one. Hundo's gonna fall no less. We still have to worry about, well, Feud. Able to find Ren as well. Last one alive is gonna be Dog Eater, having to rotate around from the back. Not a lot of intel that he can work off of, and even then, though, Dog Eater's able to find his first kill in the entire game.
And I mean, unfortunately, he got the ult down, but Food is able to pinch him in, and nobody able to clear that up there. 12-0. I mean, what a half.
Switching sides.
But
Match
this
point.
is the part I was wondering the most about. A very, very aggressive composition coming out from Identity's side could make a stellar comeback now against Bad Company. It's not out of the realm of possibilities, but Endless, they have to do it flawlessly for 12 rounds in a row with no mistakes at all.
Yeah, I mean, some teams, this is where they strive, right? They like their backs against the wall. This is where they really come together and prove their resiliency.
Teddy
But
Bear!
I mean, I don't know. I don't know if I can see it coming. They had a really difficult half, and I think their morale is kind of broken down right now. But I could be proven wrong, and I would love if I was. So it looks like they're grouping up towards C with Sova just delaying. And will they be able to hold this? Hanto with 2 frags just off the bat. I mean, I don't know. I think he's just gonna get. Yeah.
Defenders win.
I don't think there was a opportunity there for Identity to even claw their way back in that one.
I would say that was the quickest match I've ever casted. Um, There was never, ever, and this is not hyperbole, a point where Bad Company had their foot off the pedal. They always seemed to know exactly where to play, and how to execute onto a site. Even most of the time, they didn't even need to get the spike into the ground, but they would use it as bait for the defenders to be lured into their own traps. It's impressive, it's smart, and Endless. There's a reason why they're moving up in the Pit of Valor tonight. And there's a doorbell.
Huh. Is that some drink control that's being delivered to your house right now?
Oh, it's the Control Santa.
Oh,
I think it's the
nice.
Pro-Am Santa. I
Maybe.
better get my
maybe.
golden ticket to cast them.
But yeah, like you said, Bad Company never really slowed down. They were just able to walk up to each site and just get that opening pick, and it was weird. Like the overall visuals from a third person part like view, it almost seemed as if they were just only playing one person per site and having one maybe in C link and one in A link. And after they get those opening picks, there's no one there to kind of add that second wave of defense. It was just one pick, you're in. And they took advantage of that. They took those opening picks, they grouped up, and they just took it.
I think what Identity tried to bring out was a full retake for every single site. The issue was that, either a lot of members of Identity would retake too early and fall into the trap of just getting massacred onto a site they rotate to, or they would rotate too late, like in the case of Dog Eater. And now we're not just, dogging on Dog Eater just because he's there or he did slow rotates. He did have a methodical approach. He tried to cover down completely on A site every single round, and at times it did make it slightly difficult for the attackers to move on forward to the site. The issue was that even then they had such an overwhelming force that the gunfights just were not winnable.
Yeah, and I think Dog Eater's overall mentality was right, but he just needs to understand when it stops working and when it doesn't work to kind of switch it up. I think overall, playing in that same position, it was just an easier read for Bad Company. Um, and on top of that, generally when people are playing and they look at the scoreboard, they look at the weakest player and they try to attack that pinpoint to kind of add that momentum, or that easy pick to open up the round. So I think Bad Company did a really good job in that sense, kind of identifying Identity's defense and just kind of understanding their play style, what they're actually giving up, and where people are playing.
Absolutely endless. I couldn't have said it better myself. But with all that being said and done, I'm sure that's not the last time we see the end of Bad Company. They're going to be moving on to the bracket, and we're going to be going to a very small break as we get things situated again for our next matchup. And we'll see you guys in a little bit. Don't go anywhere.
I fly, then it's hard to find, yeah. Used to dine and dash, run and laugh, skinny dip off a ship, not a worry for a million miles, driving off, be right back, 'Cause maybe after all of this time, we meet again with time to spend. 'Cause even after all this time, would you be mine? 'Cause I drop it all just to get you. Always dreamed too big for this little town, but now I can't remember how to slow it down. Time does seem to fly, then it's hard to find, yeah. I've grown tired of being stuck in a race off of space. It's all fake, yeah, yeah, yeah. Everybody seems to cheat. Best believe that's not me. Want a midnight sky, rolling high. Take a trip on a whim, not a worry for a million miles. Flying off, be right back, maybe after all of this time, we meet again with time to spend. 'Cause even after all this time, would you be mine? 'Cause I drop it all just to get you.
I'm crawling around, searching for higher ground. Can't see in front of me, my enemies. I've tried every possibility, ability to know if I can bleed. If that's what you wanted, you won't get it tonight. 'Cause I can fly, I can fly, I can fly, I can fly. I'm crawling around, searching for higher ground. Can't see in front of me, my enemies. I've tried every possibility, ability need to know if I can bleed. If that's what you wanted, you won't get it tonight. 'Cause I can fly, I can fly, I can fly, I can fly.
A little bit of light, a little bit of gold. Under pressure, you start to fold like a diamond from gold. Maybe you are something I cannot define. Maybe you are the fallen kind.
What is up, everyone? We are back. Endless and Keg are taking a little bit of a break here as we bring you our next matchup. I am joined by the beautiful Vincent, who is here to my left. Vincent, how are you, my friend? Good to see you again.
I'm doing good. Had a little bit of a late start, but you know it's okay. We're here now, and that's what matters. And we are prepared for match number 2 here on the B stream. It is Beam Gaming and Red Lotus. So this is a little bit interesting. Red Lotus, a team that I know we've seen quite a few times, if I'm not mistaken. But Beam Gaming, I don't know if we've seen them in past Pit of Valors.
No, and Red Lotus we have seen. I can recall Red Lotus from various Pit of Valors from the previous weeks. Beam, not so much, but I think you might know. Okay, the reason why we may not have seen Beam is because they're literally a pug team that just was made like half an hour ago, more or less, like before the. So these guys are new, a new team, but they made it this far. And I think we are playing Bind, Vincent. I think.
Oh yeah, it is Bind. I love to see Bind. It's something we have not seen today, if I'm not mistaken. And granted, we have had only one match, so I guess it's not hard, is it?
No.
But yeah, interesting that it's kind of a mixed roster. Though I do know Maza in particular is a pretty good player on the side of Beam Gaming. But I mean, I think it is kind of hard when you're seeing the likes of Red Lotus, who by the way they were semifinalists last week.
Yes,
They
sir.
lost against Don't Talking Please, but it was certainly not an easy game for Don't Talking Please.
No.
I think it went to I can't remember if that one's the one that went to overtime.
Pretty sure it
or
was, man.
It was overtime. Okay, yeah, because one of the semifinals went to overtime. One was just 13-11. So both really close semifinals last week. So
Huge.
yeah, Red Lotus losing out in that, but they certainly were able to make it there in the Swiss stage, by the way. So not doing Swiss today, but still, I think that Red Lotus, they are looking strong to make another run today.
100%. If they're looking as strong as GME is looking right now, on for those that are heavy into stonks, I think this is going to be a great game. And production has told us we are heading in, guys, to the selection stage. We are playing some Bind. Let's see what the situation looks out to be for these two teams, guys.
I appreciate the little meme right there. You know, the stonks moving up. I appreciate that. That's all I'm gonna say. But I like to see it. And interesting on Bind. I know Keg and Kevin, they were both having an interesting conversation about this, like the Brimstone, versus the Omen. Where do you come down on that? I'm just curious.
I've been playing a lot of Bind. I've been grinding some comps recently, and Bind has been one of the heavy hitter maps that I played. I find that the Brimstone the utility is great if you know how to make use of all of his skills. I'm a bit 50-50. Like, I don't look at Omen and Brimstone just for smokes. Yes, that's their primary focus. Yes, that's what they're there to do. But personally, I believe Omen's utility and map presence, they all have their pluses, right? And with Bind, there's so many opportunities for Molly lineups. There's so many opportunities for alts that can be clutch, especially if you're a Brimstone. So I'm on the edge personally of Brimstone. I played Brimstone in beta, and I'm all about that. I don't know. What do you think, Vincent? What do you feel like? Who's the better pick here?
It really is hard. I think that we're kind of like in a position where I don't know if we'll know for sure until like maybe a couple of weeks to really bed in the changes. But from my perspective, I think I might be with you, edging towards Brimstone right this second. I also am a bit biased because I personally really loved Brimstone in the beta as well, and whilst I was a Breach main myself, I certainly, coming from Counter-Strike, I really like the ability to kind of like throw those smokes all at one time and create a real set execution that is a little bit more difficult to come up with the Omen. But I don't know in real play if that's what's going to be happening. That, I think, for me, is certainly up in the air.
1000%. I'm with you here. And I mean, comp got wise, guys, with 15 seconds to go. You can have, your Sova Rays, Brimstone, Jet, Cypher on one team, Cypher, Omen, Sova, Rays, and Jet on the other. So the diff is, as we're going to say, the Brimstone Omen. I'm looking forward to seeing what Red Lotus can do here. Familiar faces for me as we get into this game. Let's see what the strat is going to be. Bot, not going to really go too far. They're working their way up to B, Vincent. I think it's going to be a B take unless some magical plan changes here.
I mean, you could always do the old teleport strat, but I don't think that's what we're going to see, especially with that opening kill, making it double as well. Viren finding that. As Maza, though, finding a couple of frags in return does make this a little bit more doable. Make it 3 now for Maza, a player, like I said, to stand out in this game. Puts it into an even 2-on-2, and it's already back and forth in a game that's just begun here, Stripe.
That was a heavy battle. A lot of gunfights going off. That flick was just nutty from Viren. Astro going to work his way in. Dink, dink onto Jet. Nair gets deleted. 15 HP on him. Strat getting taken down to 11 HP. All alone in Octagon. Poor guy, as Cypher gonna delete him, and that is a free round for Beam.
Yeah, and a great recovery as well. The couple of kills going the way of the offense early on in that round, and it was Maza who brought everything back, picking up a triple kill with that Frenzy, making everything look so much more winnable, and then 2v2 going their way. So I think, Red Lotus certainly are favored in this matchup. I think that's pretty uncontroversial to say, but this is a great start for Beam. This is exactly where you want to begin it. It's those individual plays that you need to look out for, because that can really turn the tide in a best of one scenario.
This goes here.
Most definitely. It's a great start knowing Red Lotus came from such a great place in our previous matchup, our last week's Pit of Valor. As we're working their way into round 2, we're going to go opposite side of the map here, Vincent. I think it's going to be a smooth walk into short and take A. Let's see if they get control of U-Haul here, which is critical on these takes. Rays posted up, looking steady.
Ooh, very nice. Nair, that swing. You don't typically see the Stinger able to win that out, but really solid. And now with a 5-on-4 post plant position, it's looking somewhat doable. Now Charisma is in a pretty prime position themselves, so don't want to forget about that. But nonetheless, solid positioning here for Red Lotus.
Most definitely, totally doable hold here. I don't foresee any issues as they're going to hold him off on A. Nair going to clean up one more for himself as Defuse coming out. Cruz posted up, going to send out his blind. He's got to run through a smoke. Brimstone is ready to receive him. Gets sting, but gets taken out as 2 versus 2. She's taken. We need half here. That cam is so good. Going to catch him out. Trades coming out here, Vincent, and looks like a lit Brimstone is going to stick it, and he gets off. He's got it.
Man, my My heart can't handle the closeness of that one, man. I thought he got off, and I'm like, oh no, if Nair just plays the time there, it's all over from there. But the triple kill from Nair, not enough to win the round, but certainly enough to do significant damage to that economy, and it makes everyone pretty much well, except for one player, in fact, have to purchase back in to this round on the Beam Gaming side of things. So it is solid stuff, but the problem is you force spot into that round, and so now you're in a position where you have to save yet again for Red Lotus. They don't have enough cash to purchase in, and so that's that's kind of the difficulty if you're going to play that aggressive buy style. You kind of need to win that round regardless of what happens.
Definitely. And looking at the situation here, already looking absolutely stunning for Beam. They're up a body as they're going to work their way. Kakashi, Raze, and Hookah going to try and connect the Deagle to the forehead. He gets smoked out. That's 26 seconds of hopelessness there. He's probably going to bounce his way out. Yes, he does, to go reunite with his gang. Posted up on short. History is about to repeat itself, Vincent, as they're going to do an A-take here.
Yeah, and the dash in from the Jet to create that space. Red Lotus, they should be getting that spike down, and indeed they do. So this is, again, a really great job of just manipulating the rotations, but this should be, yet again, a pretty solid retake considering the weaponry advantage that it's had for the defense. Beam getting all of the kills as now the defense comes in, looking for it. Kakashi with one, but that's really just going to be it. 4 players left alive for Beam, and a solid third round as they get their third on the board.
Stunning way to start it off for our lovely Pugstar team Beam here, who have, from what we understood, made this team like literally half hour now, 45 minutes ago, and they're doing fantastic for themselves. A lot of padding, financially looking very strong here as the Red Lotus team is equipped now, ready with guns, 4 Phantoms and an Operator, Jet Diff with the up. I'm looking forward to seeing how this pans out for them. Thus far, I can say nothing seems, forced. Nothing seems pressured. The team is supporting each other. They're executing. Really good teamwork on the Beam side.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, something that you don't necessarily, I think, expect from a Puggy style team, but certainly players that have some knowledge. And this time, though, Nair opening that frag with an Operator kill, and so the op duel working out in the favor of Red Lotus this time around. And, well, I say this time, it is the first op duel that we've seen thus far, both teams having the cash for it. But Beam, they're down a man early at this point, and so I'm curious to see how they respond on the defense. And it looks like their response is to just stack over towards A for now. Not a bad response, particularly because you have the Cypher over there towards B.
Most definitely think that I feel tempo really changed after that first pick went out there. Like they were going 0 to a million real quickly. They know where that cam is. Very good. As the tag coming out, counter tag, dart, nade, lit, forced to swing out, gets taken out. Vincent, as we're getting into this, Sova, all Hunter's Fury is out and live. Gonna tag one, gonna weave and get away from that. Amazing job not getting slapped as Astro gonna take out Byron. 4 versus 3 here as the Red Lotus team. Man advantage. Are they going to continue to press, or are they going to back off? And Bind at its finest. Teleport, Vincent.
Yeah, exactly. And there's one player still sitting over there just in case the rotators want to get a little bit cheeky, trying to clear some things out. But those rotators not really going to be investing. It's going to be all 3 over towards A. Nair with the opening frag. That's an Operator shot, well placed. And, well, the... unfortunately, that Brimstone ult was maybe a little bit too late. You would have wanted to see that just a little earlier to deny the plant. It didn't get down, and so it did force one player out into a kill, but still, now Kakashi on the flank is going to make things so difficult. Can spot everyone out. Spike going to be being defused, but it's kills all going the way of Red Lotus as Nair cleans up a triple kill to close the round out and first on the board here for Red Lotus.
Beautiful job, and Kakashi just sealed that with the flank. He was ready to support from the back end there, but unnecessary as Red Lotus picks up their first round. Solid job on attackers. That early pick really helped them out, and I think we're going to see a very similar tempo moving into this. Let's see if they can continue to get an early pick, get the man advantage, and then massage their way through this map.
Yeah, I mean the money's still there for the defense, but it's certainly a little low. There's, if you were to take losses in this round, you would not be in a position to make another purchase in. So this is an important round for Beam. They need to be effective at trying to get around victory here and shut down the attackers before they can really start to get rolling. Strive.
Definitely, and I think we're seeing history repeat itself a little bit, Vincent, with the slow post up and trying to work a pick. I'm This is I love looking at this Brimstone through the floor there. It just looks hilarious. He's just crouched with his smoke out, and he's just like sitting there. This is great. I think Brimstone's gonna dump his smoke as soon as he hears. I think that cam's gonna go and smoke's gonna come down. There it is. He gets tagged out though. He gets spotted as Viren gonna do his best to take him out, and he recovers and runs away to Cubby, nice and safe. B take potential, Vincent, as they're working their way into sight.
Yeah, and well, it was that tag that netted the kill eventually. It took a little bit of time though. Didn't quite get away with that as Charisma tagged somebody with his cam only to get tagged back immediately after that. So a little bit of cam play. But not really going to be doing much of anything. Is now everything's rotating back out. This is, like you said, classic Bind. Everybody just moving over towards the A site, and the spike gonna go down over there. There's just one player. That's the Sova on defense. Gonna try and deny this, but Maza is not really in a position. A scratch that has snuck out into position. That's unfortunate, especially because there was a player to watch that, and Maza does clean up the second frag, but there's not a lot of time left. Gonna have to get that down. I think there was just enough time on this clock, but it's a 1-on-2, and Charisma on the flank has been living in this flank thus far. Takes out the operator of Nair and gonna get out the neural. But he doesn't even need it. It's gonna be the frag. Headshot in. That strat taken down, and Beam clean things up and shut down the attackers with just one round.
Clutch Master Flex Cypher. That was really nice. I was expecting, he's going to throw the ult, wait for it to reveal, and then he's like, nah, I'm going to throw the hat and swing with the hat. That's exactly what he did, and that was fantastic. So looking strong for Beam so far, for a team that I have not had too much chance to watch and, have the pleasure of interacting with. And Cap, they're doing really well for themselves, Vincent. Like, this is really strong defensive play on Bind, and I think Red Lotus is going to have to change it up a little bit. I don't know if these TP swings is the play. They just got to go in and, I think, execute and trade, block off the site entry points and get it down.
Yeah, I mean, exactly. Honestly, Charisma, maybe changing up the meta right there, using the hat for the fake flash. I don't know. That was a big brain play, I guess. Caught off strat. Wasn't really prepared for it. I don't think I would have been prepared for it in their defense, but nonetheless, this is now a situation where you just kind of have to do what you can on the attack. You still have some cash, of course, left over, and so you have the money, but do you really have any way of getting back in here? And with that, Charisma and Maza do pick up that frag, or both those frags rather, over towards B. And now it was a fake, but I don't think anybody really was sold by it. Scrouge gonna be finding a kill with that operator, and so now it's just a cleanup before the rest of the players. Nair does pick up the one, but I mean, that is a consolation frag if I've ever seen one.
Get your bucket and mops. That was indeed a cleanup session. And looking healthy for Beam. Finances slightly questionable so far for Red Lotus. They're gonna have to sit here and do a save, be able to buy for next. But my spidey senses tell me this is going to be another Beam round, just given the amount of weaponry on their side.
Keep up.
Yeah, what's interesting is there was kind of a half purchase, right? Some players purchased into the last round, but others did not, and so it just it seems a little bit off from Red Lotus, and from my perspective, that's the kind of purchases 2 times in a row where you just cannot be throwing those types of rounds away. Don't know what the plan was, but it certainly didn't work out.
A fine day.
Definitely not, as that Omen Smoke's purpose is really to block some players up, but that didn't really work out as they swung right through that sucker, and now it is up to Scrouge and his fellow Cypher posted up to make something happen with knives out. Dashing on top of site, gonna get taken out by Kakashi with a clean shot. Kakashi has 23 HP, Sova with full. It is now up to Charisma on the Cypher to maneuver his way. I don't know if he's going to be able to take this off. Yes, he gets the one. Fantastic choice to go and clear out the back of B as Strat is Nike's on, running to A site to plant.
Yeah, and this is now just going to be a question of how well can you play the 1v1 game. Strat is kind of playing the standard almost, you would expect, but it's going to wrap around. So this is a good opportunity, but this is going to be interesting. No way. So the rotations coming through, it seems as if they swapped positions almost. The player who's retaking coming from the showers, and then the player defending the spike going to be over towards short. So interesting, but now I think that Cypher's going to know everything that's up, because Strat is clearly going to be short here, right?
And rightfully so. He taps it, runs away from that. He's going to try and take it out, but it does not matter because the bomb timer is going. As he gets swung, Strat going to delete him as well. Clean hold there. Really good patience. And I think Charisma, just given his rotation speed and walking through shower, he did not leave himself enough time to really get that Sova all baited out.
Yeah, I was actually just going to note that. I think that Charisma didn't really know that the Hunter's Fury was online, because otherwise you would have definitely been a bit quicker with that rotation. If you just hit tab, it's one of those things that's so difficult to like know, but it's certainly something that you should be doing. You just hit tab and see, okay, well, who am I playing against? Do they have their ultimate online? And if the Sova does, then you know you need to make that rotation much faster.
Definitely, it's almost worth it just to hold the W key, get into sight, get yourself in a happy place, and then worry about it after. You know, don't worry about too much about your positioning. You're going to have to get on the spike regardless, unless you get by fluke 50-50 cut off. As Maz are going to dump that ult out the Hunter's Fury early to get some information. It looks like doesn't connect much at all, as a pinch is the play, unless a smoke and teleporter situation takes place, Vincent, which, oh, forget the teleporter. Let's just run back.
I don't know about that run. You probably would have wanted to walk, because that is going to give all the information over to the Rays there for the defense. That makes it me a little bit questionable, but they really aren't doing anything with that information, or at least aren't making any adjustments based on it, because there's still 3 players over towards A, and now that's going to be the showstopper coming through. Kakashi throws that in, but it's not going to really find anything at all. Mazda, for the defense, picks up the first, but Strat trades immediately off the back of that. And so a 4-on-4 as the retake needs to be pretty good, considering that Beam is on the back foot here.
Kakashi capitalizes on that Brimstone smoke, sits behind it. Cypher going to reveal the team out here, as they are very much aware of what's going on. Scrounge going to pick one up for himself. 3 versus 2 with a lit jet. Crew's going to swing out from CT, pick up one. Spamming. Can he get it? No, he cannot, as Nair going to at last clean that up, but too little too late, as Beam gets another round in their back pocket.
Yeah, and I mean, not really a ninja defuse, but it certainly was behind the back line. I thought, I mean, there's 2 players alive there for Red Lotus at the end. Like, they had the opportunity to try and deny that defuse, but just weren't able to get into the positions to do so. And great job from Beam to recognize that, and thus to put themselves in a position in order to take advantage. So, I mean, it's 6-2, but I don't know if that scoreline really communicates the closeness that most of these rounds have been. Nair sitting up at 14 frags, by the way, and that's just a great example of how well some of the individuals here for Red Lotus are playing, despite them being at a 4-round deficit.
Absolutely, Vincent. And as you're going off here, Vyern is going to take out Charisma, guys. This is getting faster paced now. I very much like this style of play, where you just get into sight and you execute. Smoke off where you got to smoke off, and just position yourself for the hold. Numbers looking fantastic for Red Lotus. They very much need this round, Vincent.
Yeah, they do. I think this is kind of where things start to get to that do or die position, right? And really heads up play from Scrounge to put those smokes down, create the space to get out. But Strat's immediately going to pick them off, and that's actually 2 for Strat. Clues with another, and Byron chiming in to find a round for Red Lotus. I said it was do or die, and well, they did rather than die.
They did indeed. I am so happy they got that round. They need sustenance as they work their way through the first half of this matchup. I would love to see them pick up 5 rounds here before they switch. It's a comfortable place to be. Gives you some padding when you're on the defending side to learn what your enemy team is going to be doing. So far, Red Lotus on track, I think, to close out the 5 if they keep up some of the momentum, the back and forth. You can guys see here that it has been a back and forth game. There hasn't been more than a 3-round round spree for any one of the teams, in this case, Beam. as standard setup. Looks like the team is posted up on short and showers, can swing, can push. Let's see what they do.
Yeah, this is not at all bad setup, especially for an eco round. And the double swing working out in the favor there of the defense. Astrio picking up that frag, and in fact, Kashi, that's another kill with the boom bot, I believe. And so with that, now a pretty solid position for the defense, a man advantage, but it's short-lived. As Strad gets that swing, and based off the paranoia, it picks up 2 in fact off the back of it. Well placed, that paranoia in the end. And so just 2 players left here for the defense. It's Charisma, who does recover a rifle, and so this rifle, can he do anything with it? That's going to be the question mark, but the answer, not at all. Nair not going to be whiffing that shot, operator in hand. So it's just the sheriff here of the Sova. Mazza trying to find things. Mazza been very good though so far, but I don't think there's any chance, and indeed the swing from 2 players at the same time not going to be netting any opportunities for Mazza to do anything but die.
Big ups to Strat on understanding how to utilize his teammates' flash and swinging together. There's nothing more, unifying than working with your teammate and capitalizing on the abilities of your team. And in this case, nothing better than getting a Sova to flash or blind, and then you follow right behind that right away, give them no time to breathe, and that's what makes it super awesome to work with your teammates. And that's the next level of play, Vincent. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. It's really great when you have a player that can make those step ups, and for me, that has been the player at the start of this game. But 4-6, this is now where I think Red Lotus, they got an eco round there into their pocket, and so now they can start to maybe claw back a couple of these rounds, make it a more even half. It is 6-4 with 2 rounds left.
It could very well be a 6-6, Vincent. You're 100% correct. Mazza, he's expecting some action here as the paint can coming straight at his face. He's got the drone. He's going to go through. Vyron has this camera. This is what I love about Cypher, is when you have such a passive setup, and, in this case, Vyron gets a great opportunity to put a cam down, and he sees, yo, guys, it's empty. What do y'all want to do? You want to come over here, dump some smoke so we go? And I think that is what they're going to capitalize on, is Vyron's very much deep into sight here.
Oh, yeah, you really have to commit some other resources there defensively, I think, because it leaves you so open. So that being said, Beam has been very good with these retakes, and that is going to be a commitment from the Brimstone in order to get everyone off of that site. No spike going down, and the follow-up showstopper does find another. So this is a 2-minute advantage already. Cruzo sitting here on the rotations, going to make things so difficult, especially that paranoia. Hits one, not even going to be taking that fight though, is now Strat with the Hunter's Fury just zoning everyone out. Nobody's even able to try and approach the site, but it is Charisma on the flank, as has been the standard fare for this defensive Beam. He's going to be the crux, though. He's got to find an opening here as 2 players watching in, and oh no! Cruz finds both of them, and that's devastating for the defense. It's now all on Charisma, who has to do it in a 1-on-3. He's found the first, but it's not going to be looking all that great for him to find anymore, considering that Cruz is playing this incredibly well, and Strat's not going to be peeking unless he gets that call off the back of that, and indeed, that's what happens. That's going to be Charisma going down, and another round there for the offense.
Last round before the
That was a
switch.
juicy spike position if you think about it. Like, you're open to CT, and you're open to Heaven, and you're open to the back end of U-Haul. I mean, that was just really good teamwork, really good patience, and baiting the shot out, trying to force him to get the half at the very minimum, but it worked out in their favor. Red Lotus is most definitely, like you said, Vincent, clawing back here, and a potential 6-6 half. This is panning out to be a fantastic game so far.
Yeah, I mean, it's always exciting when you have an exciting game, and that's what we've got for the moment. So I'm enjoying it, and I hope everyone else is too, as Cruz, unfortunately, he's going to get tagged out, so they know that he's here. This aggressive push, this is very intelligent, but with 2 players there, Mazza is not going to be allowing that to happen, and he finds a double. So a man advantage here for the defense is Nair tries to open things up with a knife.
Nair's knowledge right now is very strong as he knows what's going on. He's very much in tune with the placement of the enemy team as he's posted out. They know one's you, they know one's shower, looking pretty free. Can Mazza connect something? Scrounge going to pick up 2 for himself to bring up a 4 total as Mazza got the first 2 kills. And it is now up to Scrounge. Yeah, he connects it, baby. That is good half overall. And I think the 5-round prediction or the 5-round dream is real. That's really good.
Yeah, solid all around, and so now they're, you know, Beam have to do it on their rather the offensive side. My apologies. I think that Red Lotus, they didn't actually make all that many mistakes there for their attack. It was really just a matter of some individual plays coming through from Beam, particularly Maza making some plays, Charisma making some plays as well. So, you know, that opened things up for them. And so now you just got to grab that 2-round deficit. This is where things start. You know, pistol round, you're able to, if you could potentially get, you know, that 1-2 round lead out at the half, things are all tied up, and you move on from there. And oh, this is looking spicy. That's some great camera work there, and it's all in. Scrounge with the double, though, picks off both the offense as he gets the 2-for-1 deal. Byron, though, finally trading back, and now Kakashi as well. They weren't expecting the 3-man push up short in the pistol, and everybody's got to have to walk back. But oh no, look at that Sova in such a prime position to deny any sort of rotations from the offense.
This is going to be a little bit of a waiting game. Numbers are looking good. Beam is obviously not in a great position in terms of health points, as both Cypher and Brimstone are not looking too good for themselves. But with a minute left, the map control right now is in a fantastic place. I think Red Lotus has a very good understanding of where the enemy team is pinned, and now it's just a matter of wait it out. Let's see what they do with the spike. And they are maneuvering their way back to A. It looks like Vincent going to sneak their way, but they're going to be met with some resistance. Strat going to get on the flank here. Byron gets one, gets two with the crisp, clean headlock, as it's all up to poor Raised and a Satchel and a Dream to get deleted.
Man, honestly, that was such a I don't know. I don't know how to feel is kind of where I'm going, Stripe, because it was really an intelligent play overall from the offense to kind of play it that slowly. But the problem was that Red Lotus already had all the information. They knew what was going on because Strat had pushed up so far on the flank, and so that made it so difficult for Beam to really do anything off the back of that. And with that, yeah, Beam losing that first opening round, and so we should eventually see the tie-up, considering there is no real weapons in the hands of the attack this time around.
That we should, but then again, there are hopes, there are dreams, and there are miracles. So let's see if something does go opposite Vincent's call. Is Scrounge going to absolutely annihilate Omen? Nair going to say, nah, I'm good, man. I'll back up my team and trade you out, as Spike is dropped far back. Nothing. Hopefully we don't see any more kills before someone grabs the spike and does, you know, anything towards one of the sites. But so far, numbers evened out. Nothing to panic about. But Vincent's prediction is the win for... This is... Okay. I'm not even going to go anywhere. Why are we doing what we're doing? Like, no, I'm not. But
yeah, come on, man.
Okay. I'm going to stop right there. I'm just going to... Yeah.
We're like
what is
the
reason
right now? That's what we're doing. We're just baiting it. It's like, oh. Anyway, we'll move away from that conversation because I've just heard that everyone in chat is mauling over what we've done. But yeah, it's still a minute managed for the defense. As well, Red Lotus, they should be picking this up, but we will see. As now incoming towards A. Should get a spike plan off the back of this, and indeed does. And Cache finding out one. This does open things up a little bit there for the defense. Enemy tag. But with that, it's 3-on-3.
Looks like a very viable retake for Red Lotus. 2 versus 2. Brimstone is lit. Strat gonna send that dart out, lands in front of the teleporter, not really where you want it to be. Go back to math class again, taps the spike, and he's gonna get swung out. Vyron gonna take out one. It is now all up to poor Brimstone on his own. Vyron gonna slap him in the head with a Spectre there. As a round goes to the lovely Red Lotus gang, evening it up here, Vincent, 7-7. Let's go.
Yeah, is this the first tied game we've had? I think it is. Yeah, first tie of the game. You know, since Red Lotus going down early on in this game, they've been fighting things back, but it's been at a deficit the entire time until this point. So let's see if they can reclaim their first lead of the game into the following rounds. This is kind of where the rubber meets the road, though. Strive, you gotta question. Okay, so now on the defense, we don't have all that much purchased in here, and you're going to be going against the rifles. So I'm not too sure if Red Lotus can really make anything happen here. They're going to have to pull something out if they do.
Flight.
Definitely they will, as they're going to have to bank on, like you said, hopes, dreams, and a B-take here, as Omen and Raze are still chilling. Omen senses some funny stuff happening. He's going to put his Jordans on. And no, okay, never mind. I take it back. He's like, nah, I'm just going to run to CT and I'm going to go back. It's all good. Smoke's coming out. Let's see if sometime in the 21st century, Omen's going to rotate. No, yo, maybe he's reading. Yo, his strat book, his brain is huge. He's like, nah, I know these guys are going to TP. Oh! Hell! Okay. All right.
Kakashi. What a play from Kakashi to pick up that double.
Holy heck.
The rotations.
Yo, Kakashi whipped his mouse back and forth and absolutely slapped there. That was stunning. And TP one more time. They're going around the world. Strats posted up. He gets traded up by Charisma.
Not again. Not again.
Oh, man.
Shadows traveling.
What is
Who's
happening
my guy?
in this round?
Cruz is in a bit of a sticky situation here, as Brimstone knows exactly where he is, so he's going to have to figure something out. He's going to swing it, and pistol in hand cannot make that happen. Timer is ticking. Brimstone, let's go. Nikes. Viron's good right there. He's ready for it. 3, 1, boom, bang, up. And just like that, the timer ticks away, Vincent.
That is a brilliant way to win a round you had no business getting into. Like I said, a very limited investment there for the defense. They barely had any rifles. I mean, they had no rifles. They had 2 SMGs and a bunch of pistols. They won the round off the back of it because of the insanity. And I mean, we were memeing, but Kakashi and Cruz not actually rotating, or I guess in Kakashi's case, taking the really long rotation, just worked out beautifully. I mean, I want to say that was the strategy, and I'm going to go with that. We're just going to stick with it.
Take flight.
Call it a strat, call it intuition, call it what you want. It was the right move, as the Sheriff of Kakashi absolutely slapped there. That was pivotal to winning the round, as I think pace is definitely changing here. Going to go for a fast take here onto the A site, and they're going to post up. Kakashi playing passive, knives out. He's about to be contested by the Jet. Gonna satchel to try and push him back, and so far we're just fighting for site control here.
Yeah, but there's quite a few players still on the site, and that shock dart perfectly placed from Strat to take out the Raze, and there's still not a spike plant. Lots of space created, and the entirety, with the exception of one player of the defense, is here. Now Astrio finally able to get that spike down, but look at Cruz in this position, and yet again, Strat with the shock dart to throw it in. That's 2 kills, and nobody's seen anybody.
That's what makes Sova so fantastic. Okay, maybe he did go back to math class, and he finally learned how to line up some amazing darts, as he gets 2 shock darts off for 2 kills. There is a party happening at U-Haul. Scrounge, knives out. He's ready with 1 more set. Can he get it? Yes, he can. Takes out Strat, and it is... There are so many kills going back and forth here. I can't even keep up at this point, Vincent, as they're going to stick.
Oh no, it's a Jet. It's a Jet back and forth. Oh no, what was that? Scrounge does pick up a quad kill for the end of it, and not 3 of those with the knives, but Scrounge really was the hero of that round for Beam, as they were able to pick up 1, 2, and 3 with the knives, and following that up with the rifle. So perfectly played there from Scrounge to even the scoreline once again. It's been a 3-0 start for Red Lotus, and now it has been equalized. So I think now I'm starting to think, okay, so what haven't we seen yet? Red Lotus, they are on an eco, so it is going to be maybe a little bit tempered this round. But, I mean, we've just seen all-out aggression last round. Are we going to continue to see that?
By the looks of it, and then we got aggression from the defender side. So I mean, what are you going to do at this point? Pistols in hand, you got to make a play. So they went for the short push. But you know what? Beam is posted up. They read the book. You know, they read the strat book, and they're well aware as to what could have come there in that round, and they posted up for the picks as a drone coming out. Rest of the squad going to rotate over to B. Hello. Connection has been made as there's 2 more left for Red Lotus. Getting caught out. Strat going to pick up one of his own. Gets a gun, gets away with 48 HP to top that off as looking like a quick B take. They know where everyone is. Well, not everyone. Well, let's say he knows where Sova is. As Dart coming in. B take here, Vincent. They're going to get it down pretty clean.
Indeed. Not bad at all here from the attackers. Like you were saying, Beam, they are poised to go up around here. And especially because I think Nair with this operator just kind of wants to get out with their life. There's really no reason to be trying to go too hard into this. Strat just had a pistol, so not a huge deal. And now Nair needs to try and get out. Don't want to be taking any chances with that operator. Though I will say, Nair is playing things a little bit too close for comfort in my book. I would be gone so much quicker, but Nair is going to net a frag off the back of that. So maybe there is a reason that, that this player is really good at the game and I'm trash. So
Don't say that, man. Come on now. Don't be like that. No. Nair just, you know, pulling out the all the stops is, you know, understanding the value, Vincent, of, you know, getting rid of a gun. Oh,
no way!
What are you doing?
What? Outrageous from Maza!
Question marks in the chat, please, for Maza?
What was that? He didn't even have it. Bro, he did not have any idea. He was walking. How did he know?
He was walking, right? It wasn't just me. He did walk the whole way there.
Nair was walking right there. Just a soul read coming through from Maza to pick up the frag. And I'm flabbergasted right now. I can't even speak, Strive. Help me out, man.
But you don't have to speak. I'm on the complete same page as you. Like that. That's just so like that. That's what makes you want to like just take your mouse and then, you know, drive it through your table. Like that's what would grind my gears right then and there. Geez. At this point, I'd be so hyped after that. Like you're up a man as Hunter's Fury coming out, counter Hunter's Fury as I'm blabbing away here. Maza making the plays happen on strat, bringing up the man count for Beam, who's off with a 1-round lead. Vincent, this is now getting very, very, very juicy.
It sure is. I mean, like you said, certainly feeling the confidence off the back of that. And I mean, I don't know what Strat tried to pull out the counter Hunter's Fury. You already got tagged by one of them, so I feel like you lose that. But hey, I respect the hustle is certainly what I would do. But 5-on-4 now is a not quite open B site. There's one player here on the defense. And they're sitting inside. Cruz does find that one, but it is immediately traded back by Charisma. So a 1-for-1 trade, not really going to be favorable for the defense. Kakashi now in a position to try and hold off what little there is left of the defense. And well, 3 players left, but it's just really great, solid retake positions. Nair is going to get a frag in return, though. And that does open things up, especially if I was going to say, especially if the Showstopper can pick something up, but the Showstopper in return is going to be trying to find it even better. And okay, Charisma just styled all over there right there. I just want, let the record show that the styling was happening.
I think Charisma's really feeling himself right now with a solid 2-to-1 KD ratio, sitting at a mint 22 bomb. He's you know, patting himself on the back. You know, he's just vibing right now. Definitely doing a lot of work for him, like for his team. Like Charisma, definitely like big ups. You can tell he's styling. You know, pulling out the pistol to clean that last one up. But you know, look on the opposing end. Scoreboard wise, Nair not doing, you know, that far off. You know, 2 deaths more. But hey, instant TP. Vincent is I don't know why you do that. Now you know where they're coming. Hey, I mean, let's see. I'm not gonna talk. This has been a heck of a game, right? Oh,
I mean, Nair just does that. That's why. That's why I found Strive. I found the answer. Just because Nair does things like that, just instant double kill. Sure, the spike's planted in return, but Scrounge, in a perfect position, but a missed shot. That's crucial from Scrounge.
Watch the swing. Here comes. Watch the swing.
Oh, does find that follow up. That's perfect. Strat taken down, and Astrio finds another. He's dropping down his Scrounge, and he's finding a second. Nair now alone, and he's got the double with the knives. It's beautiful stuff from Nair to pick it up. And Red Lotus, they were looking pretty much defeated, but it's now just a 1-round deficit with the clutch. Nair doing it all.
Yo, send Nair to the top, man. Okay, let me get my pen and paper. TP when you have knives. Like, that was literally the play. That was the 4K you needed. That is, like, Nair should be jumping up and down right now. And Beam, they have their work cut out for them, guys. 10-9, this could swing either way at this point. I can't, like, no more can I sit here and say, oh yeah, this team's doing that, this team's doing, like, the amount of nutty plays going off here, Vincent, is just, it's so hype. Like, I'm ready to see how this pans out.
Yeah, I mean, I won't even repeat what you said, because that is my feeling. Just excited and ready to go, because everybody just popping off, making those individual plays. And this time, I think, thankfully for our hearts, Beam has slowed things down slightly, playing it a little bit more default this time around.
Yeah, paces definitely change a little bit. They must be feeling good. Maza gonna peeky the shoulder, but Nair is just feeling himself right now. His reaction time is 28 shades of cracked as he picks him off. Number advantage, strong for Red Lotus. Scrounge, swingy. Why am I adding ease at the end of everything? Peeky, swingy. Like, I gotta stop. I gotta calm myself.
Out of my way.
Oh, I love to see it. It's fun. It makes it, just a little bit more poetic. That's the term, right?
Definitely, as Paint Can coming out, doesn't connect much. Knives are out for Scrounge, though. Can he pull an air here as they are making their way up short? Easy A pinch. Gonna take out Kakashi. Raise on Raise action. Astro gonna dump down his smokes, and they are ready to hopefully put the spike down on A with 30 seconds left to go here, gang. Knives, strat, spray does not connect, and he gets hit up a little bit by that. Not too bad. As Vyron finally puts his Nikes on. My guy, they're at the other side. What are you camming for? Let's go.
I mean, he's doing his best. Wants to check out the camera, make sure everything's looking fine over at the other properties, and so now can put his mind at ease to retake into this site and trying to bait out the operator's try to strat. It's not working out all that well. Charisma finding the opener, but it's immediately going to be a trade. So it's still 2 on 3 and strat. That's a nice shot. Charisma taken down. And so now just 2 players left, and well, that orbital strike is not going to be effective. Astrio, despite not having the weaponry out, is going to be taking out Nair, and well, another round here on the board for Beam as it's 11-9.
Dude, Strat had the right idea. That I really thought with that swing with the brimstone on his keypad, ready to dump his ult, it was going to be the play, but he just did not connect it. I guess he just body shotted, ankle shotted. That was heartbreaking, man. But Beam must be feeling so good right now. 2 rounds up. Vincent, I think they might be able to close this out. The momentum is definitely tilted towards the Beam side.
I mean, it certainly is, and I think you could consider this an upset. Certainly, as Red Lotus's performance last week, I think would put them ahead, at least in most people's books. But Beam has been non-stop impressive. Everybody stepping things up in massive ways, and that's really what it's come down to. Some of these clutch rounds just perfectly played there by Beam, and so now they do have it all to do. Red Lotus.
I'm not a fan of that decision, Vincent. I don't know why. Why shoulder peek that? Like, you got to play together with your team. I can understand it, but you weren't even backed up. Like, it wasn't a simultaneous swing. It was not good. As now Beam is just all over B site. This is going to be a pretty easy hold. Honestly, I think this is a wash unless we get some miraculous sheriff shots to go off here. Let's see what they can make of it here, Vincent.
I mean, even given some maybe miraculous shots, it's a 5-on-3, and like you said, I have to agree with you. There's really no reason to make that swing alone, right? You have to be playing that together, and even if you feel as if you need to make the hero play, like, that play is just so unlikely. It's just so difficult, right, to make that decision in the moment. But as we expected, the cleanup really doing everything. Beam. This should be a 12th on the board, as it is just the operator of Nair, who does get out with their live, and I think should get away. Kashi is on the flank there, so Yeah, okay. Nair should be fine. After that one round strive, I'm always worried to say that they should get out alive because, well, it looked good and then it didn't.
All in all, Vincent, Nair's Jansport backpack right now is literally overflowing. I don't know what else he can do at this point for his team, but one more round here for Beam. If you're gonna make a swing like that, I mean, look at the finances here. This is it, guys. All or nothing at this point. Red Lotus is gonna be in a sticky situation next round. If you're gonna swing long, at least swing with some util. Back it up with your team as the blind. Exactly what I said, right? Omen Flash raises there with them as they're posted up together. This pink gang gonna do some huge damage. About half HP, not bad at all. As they get away, slightly nicked up and bruised. Nair posted up, gonna get one here. Yes, he does.
Yeah, and you hit the nail on the head there. That's exactly how you call up defensive aggression and play it correctly that time. So perfectly done. And, well, the aggression from the operator does work out in their favor. Kakashi finding another one. So this is not going to be over just yet. Two-man advantage now for Beam, or rather for Red Lotus, my apologies, as Cruz is teeing up this teleport. I'm not sure where that could be going, considering there's still one player over here at the B site. And indeed, everybody else moving over towards B as well. So a B hit late in the round with about 45 seconds left is what it looks like for the plan.
Cruz was about to slap the TP to the ISS, but he said, nah, you know what? I think they're going to come back over here. So he canceled that real quick. He's sitting in hookah. Astrio, can you check it? Check it. Hello? Yes, he does. Connects the headshot. Tap, tap. Can he connect on Kakashi, who's posted up as well? Kakashi makes use of that angle really well. Can he get one more? No! Most definitely not. Okay, here we go. Now we're getting deep here, Vincent. This is where Maza! He's making it happen. I am so Maza, making it count where it matters here. Gonna even up the numbers, 2 bodies each. This could be anyone's round, Vincent. And given the HP situation, I think it's gonna be Red Lotus round.
I mean, it really is really for anybody to take. And with that, like you said, one trade going back and forth, but Viren is not missing those shots. 1 and 2 to close things out. It was that HP advantage that you were just mentioning that really gave Red Lotus that advantage. And, well, it is a 10th round, so 2 rounds the deficit, but it's still match points. So Beam, they just need to find 1 out of the next 3, essentially, to take a victory and move on in the Pit of Valor.
Definitely finances a little bit sticky here for the Red Lotus team. They gotta, buy wisely or, buy to win, I think, obviously at this point. Who am I kidding? Buy what you can if it means you get light armor at this point, which is what, Cruz is, I think, in a position he has to do. This is it. The pinch is on. Red Lotus has to smell the roses here. Roses are red. You guys got that one? All right, good talk. And they're working their way up. Be long, Vincent. Are they going to execute? Are they going to TP? Aggressive cam coming out to spot out the team. I think they're just going to walk it up. Maybe. I foresee a TP here.
Yeah, but I was going to mention 4 ults here for the defense. That's something that we need to make sure that we're aware of. Strat picking out that 100 sphere rate, finding a kill already, and indeed a tag onto the Cypher as well. So that makes things so much more difficult. Showstopper in for Cash. That's not going to be netting much of anything at all. And so now B-site is gained for the offense, but is the retake going to be good for yet another solid retake? Scrounge. Oh no, the defense, he's picked up a double kill on the flank, perfectly placed. How is he snuck in there? And now this retake, it's looking devastating.
Devastating it is, Vincent. Number advantage looking good for Beam. This is, people get, a little bit pokey. Oh, what am I even trying to say? Scrounge gonna get one there, gonna take him out as well for the trade. Astro for 1. What are they going to make of it? And that's game for Beam, Vincent. I mean, what I was trying to say there earlier, and I got way too hyped up, is when you're in a situation like that and you got to, play it smart. It's your last chance of getting around. You don't want to do anything wrong. So just that last round game style just changes. And, as Endless would say, I'm looking at myself right now in my cam. I'm teleporting through time again. I'm like pixelated. I'm halfway to Pluto at this point. I apologize for the cam situation, guys, here. But Vincent, tell me how you felt about that, buddy.
I I mean, I feel like that my feelings were just all over the place. It was swinging back and forth and back and forth this way and that throughout the matchup, and for that reason, I was at the edge of my on the edge of my seat. I didn't know where we would be going, but I mean, being able to pick that up just tells me and shows me that they are certainly a team that are contenders. I mean, Mazda in particular really impressing me, and it didn't matter that Nair was absolutely popping off on the other side. And by the way, a Red Lotus team that wasn't playing poorly. I mean, this was not Red Lotus underperforming. This was Beam just taking it to him, destroying, making things work. And I mean, absolutely beautiful stuff overall. I mean, what was your final thoughts? Because I feel like I just walked through that and we watched it together, but I still don't know how to feel.
I just wanted to say, like, this was production gang and everyone in here was so hyped up, and they're saying, "Yo, what a sick game to cast," and that's literally it. Like the talent, and I think we saw glimpses of really good high level gameplay. The stuff that makes high level players what they are. Utilizing each other's util, making use of flashes when you're pushing, working together as a team and trading out, making incredible plays, especially with things like jet knives that can literally turn around upside down on its head. You don't need a gun. You whip out a knife and you're good. You're up in the air and you can do so much work for your team with clean one shots to the head, which is what we saw that one round. I think it was Nair who popped that off.
Yeah,
It was just this game really got me hyped up for the rest of the night. I think it sets a very good pace for where we're going.
yeah, it does.
Um, and I want to wrap it up, but before I do, real quick, guys, please remember, and we're taking our, GLG is going big here, guys. So our
Mhm.
Val Am series is starting up. It's sponsored by Trail Like Pros. It's on February 8th and 9th, guys. It's teams that are Immortal Plus. 4 qualies, $100, first place prize for each. Top 2 teams from each qualifier will enter the grand final for a $2,000 pot, which is incredible. Please DM the GLG Twitter. And if you're not following us on Twitter, be sure to do that. Slap the follow on this Twitch and on the main account. There's 2, so please do not forget to do that. Signups for next week's POV Pit of Valor are open. Vincent, anything else that I missed here, my guy?
No, I think you got it covered. I mean, I want to communicate the excitement that we have here at GLG for that event coming up. I mean, just absolutely brilliant, and it is really solidifying that position. If you are, a tier 3 roster that is looking for that opportunity into the big leagues, like this is your shot. This is where you want to go. So make sure to take a look at all of that, just like Strive was saying. But with that, we are going to go on a short little commercial break. We're going to be getting everything prepped for our next matchup, and we'll be right back with you with more Valor in action right after this.
My heart is beating, it's magical, the music's playing, losing control, the things I'm feeling, so mystical, the rhythm goes, and I can't feel the heat. And I keep moving to the beat. 'Cause I'm letting go. Gotta let them know. Losing all control on the dance floor. We don't care, we dancing all night long. We don't care, we dancing all night long. We don't care, we dancing all night long. Dancing all night long. My heart is beating, it's magical, the music's playing, losing control, the things I'm feeling, so mystical, the rhythm goes, and I can't feel the heat, and I keep moving to the beat, 'cause I'm letting go. Gotta let them know. control on the dance floor. We don't care, we're dancing all night long.
Holding on to what I know, to everything I've learned. What is real and fabricated? What is wrong? What is my problem? What can I get out of this world that I created? Fighting the storms in my head. Don't know where I have been. I'm alone, no one to turn to, no one understands. Shit's too complicated. Away, and I feel like I am someone else. Away, and I feel like I don't know myself, no. Away, and I feel like I don't know my name. And I don't want to live this way. I don't wanna keep on wasting a life. I'm drowning in my head, I'm losing the mind. And if you could know, yeah, if I could show you, I don't wanna keep on living this life so faceless.
Yeah, unknown brain, Marvin Devine, and we back.
Can't nobody tell me nothing. Made it through the rain and rain. I turn nothing into something. No more dealing with their assumptions. Cause I do what I gotta do and I know, can't nobody do it like me. All they do is judge me for who I might be. Maybe if they took some time to pick my mind to see that I'm cooler than lemons and iced tea. All I wanna do is live it up with the homies. Everybody really talking as if they know me. But I guess I gotta face it. I'm so tired of being faceless.
I don't wanna keep on wasting a life. I'm drowning in my head, I'm losing the mind. And if you could know, yeah, if I could show you, I don't wanna keep on living this life so faceless.
Alrighty, welcome back for some more Valorant action here on the B stream. We have subbed out Strive, and now it is Endless in here with me to get our next matchup going. And well, we are going to be seeing University of Houston Alpha and Digital Dynasty. Endless, two teams I have not personally seen, but I am wondering, do you have any hot details on these two teams?
I haven't seen any of these teams actually play myself yet either. But from what I've seen, I mean, on University of Houston here, they got a few names in there that are kind of the memes of the stock market right now, right? So we have AMC, right? And we also have Nokia and GME as well for the GameStop stocks. I don't know if anyone has seen what's going on in that market right now, but it's a funny show right now. I mean, stocks are just increasing like crazy, and who would have predicted that?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like that whole situation is just a meme in and of itself. I mean, it kind of is, but whatever. Reddit doing Reddit things as Reddit does. But yeah, I think for me, Digital Dynasty, some players I think that I have seen before. Cloudy kind of stands out to me, but I can't tell you from where. I feel like I get these vibes all the time. I'm just reading people, but I've heard the names kind of in the general area, and I just can't remember. But with all of that said, we are going to be going to Bind yet again. So more Bind, and I don't think I can ever complain about Bind because I really enjoy this match, and the match we just saw, I don't know if you were getting a chance to watch there, but particularly that ending was absolutely god tier in our last matchup, Endless.
Yeah, I mean, we were kind of hoping Red Lotus were gonna come out strong. I mean, they did, and then they kind of slowed down a little bit. But Nair, I mean, he did everything he could to try to claw their way back in, and unfortunately, it just wasn't enough as a team standpoint. But nonetheless, both teams played great. And one thing I did want to also bring up too, with Beam being a kind of a mixed team, they throw that randomness factor in, right? And with that randomness factor, you're not sure, are they going to play like a team? Are they going to play like a pug? Are they going to just be, random and uncoordinated? Certain plays and just atmosphere and vibes they can throw out could just change the way you play as a team. And those certain randomness effects could come into play. So Red Lotus could have been caught off guard as well in that sense. But both teams played great, and like you said, I'm happy it's Bind. It's not a sense again, and
The bane
I'm
of our
happy
existence.
seeing both these teams that we've never seen before play it out, duel it out. Who's going to be more aggressive? Who's going to be, I think it's going to come down to the comp and their aim, really.
Yeah, and exactly that is exactly what it will come down to. Though I will say that I think we have kind of put it to rest right now. Or wait, are we tied up? I didn't get a chance to see who won out, the Omen or the or the Brimstone in the first game, Endless.
I was kind of hoping you guys didn't bring that up, but I think
No,
it's
no,
a
we're
1-1
still
tie because
we're still
Brimstone did
rolling with
win.
it.
Brimstone
Okay,
did win
okay.
first game. I believe the last game was the Omen.
Yeah, it was.
So I'm hoping both these teams pick one, either one, and not the same. Because I mean, if they pick the same, there's automatically a default winner, I would say.
Yeah.
But
Oh, then it's so fun.
exactly, and I mean, on this map, I would say Omen is still pretty good. But again, Brimstone is still my favorite on Bind. With it only being 2 maps and the ult and the mollies for post plant, it gains so much control, right? So it looks like we're gonna probably get into the character selection here. I'm super curious to see which one picks what, but I mean,
Okay.
oh,
Well,
instantly.
that's a statement. Oh, you do like to see that. That's yeah, like you said, instant
Oh.
statement. That's from Digital Dynasty and Panzer on the other side. So we've got the meme, we've got the matchup. Let's see who takes the victory. As it is Houston Alpha, I think, starting on the defense here, and Digital Dynasty on the attack. So otherwise, though, these looking pretty solid, pretty standard composition-wise. Deciphers, you got your Sovas, and well, the only difference there really is Bumbo going to be playing the Reyna, whereas Arisu going to be playing on Ooh, okay, what? I was that surprised me for some reason. I was like, wait, what?
Yeah.
But yeah, so just the duelist swaps there, but otherwise fairly solid.
Yeah, it seems like the teams are generally running a smoke and 2 flashes on average. But having the difference here of having a raise on Arisui and having a Phoenix on Cloudy, I mean, that's literally the only difference amongst them aside from the smokes. And again, I'm happy that we're able to get a Brimstone on one team and an Omen on the other. So this is gonna battle it out for the tiebreaker here.
Yeah, and Sully did lock that Reyna as well. So you're right. The only difference is the Raze versus the Phoenix. So something that I'm kind of interested to see. I kind of think the Raze is pretty standard here on Bind in particular, but Phoenix certainly not something that is odd. Not something you don't see. It's pretty common. So we'll see how it works out. But looks like for now the offense is heading towards A tentatively.
Yeah, it looks like Digital Dynasty is just working slow up short and catching Omen in U-Haul. I mean, at the end of the day, as long as they're working slow on pistols, I think getting that info and showing the presence is crucial. But it seems like all 3 are on short. They're trying to get the shower control, but are taking damage. Sully able to take out Looper and probably take out Cloudy as well, which he does, and he is at full health, which forces Digital Dynasty to rotate towards B, but their health down to only 2 people against 4. It doesn't look like it's going to be likely, especially with Tan Bands here lurking out of back hall and just cleaning it up.
Yeah, really great job there overall to pick up round number 1 for Houston Alpha. And that's a great example of just really solid, consistent play using that aggression. That was Sully in the bathrooms or the washrooms, just getting the early advantage for the team. And then, of course, the man advantage and then the health advantage. Tan Band's cleaning everything up. So, you know, looking strong out the gates there, Houston Alpha. Let's see if they can actually convert this round, because it has been an investment from the opposition, and it's the full Stinger purchase. So we do see this pretty often. For me, the jury's out on whether or not this is worthwhile.
Yeah, and it looks like Arisu is going to get a little bit aggressive showers with Reyna there and be able to take out Cloudy, and it leaves him at a one-man disadvantage already again, but it is a save round. They did force up, I believe, and man, that's the thing with forcing. If you do lose this round, that's another round you're giving away instead of being able to win that 3rd round in. But again, Sheriff now down to a 3v1 situation, lurking in U-Haul, is able to sneak through CT without getting spotted, but it seems as if they're not truly aware of it yet. But looks like Sova is in hookah, just watching CT spawn.
I think this, I don't know how the Cypher has gotten to this position, but clearly the defense were aware, and Panzer takes Sheriff out without much of a problem. So that forced purchase, you know, into that 2nd round, not really working out. And, you know, Endless, I kind of want your opinion. That's kind of what I was saying, is that, like, I don't feel like that round works out all that often in the favor of the force buyers. And is it better just to get, you know, the save round 2 and then get your full buy into this next round?
I mean, it really depends. That's the certain type of gamble you have with this, right? It's either you buy up, you force it, and you win the round, which forces the other team, and that gives you 2 rounds there. But if you do lose it, that's a big 3-0 deficit if everything pans out the way it's supposed to, right? And Cloudy instantly just gets dinked and has to fall off, but now they have full shower control, and I mean, the team can start cheating over towards B.
Yeah, that's the key. That early map control there for the defense just allows so much flexibility within the rotations that realistically you have to make a commitment over towards the B site. And well, that's what it's looking like that we're going to be seeing from the attackers. Lots of utility going both ways, but inching everyone out slowly but surely is a Digital Dynasty. And so finally they're moving out into the B site. Sully here for the defense. Going to be not spawning out anyone just yet. Finally does. Gets the overkill as well, as it's a trade from Adderall, but not much else. Sully with 3 and 10 bands cleaning up everything else. So Houston, they're up to a 3-0 start here in the early stages of this game.
Yeah, man, Sully with that stinger, I mean, has proven 2 rounds in a row that that's still a dangerous weapon for her to have. And I mean, up to a 6-0 start with the score being 3-0, this is the round that Digital Dynasty really needs to kind of group up together and take by storm, because they are still bonusing. So even if they were to lose this round, they still have money for next.
Yeah, that's the key, right? Like, you keep over. This is where those bonus weapons are so powerful. If you're able to take a round here, I mean, your economy is basically set for at least 2 rounds in a row, even if you lose them both. So with that, just kind of a slow, methodical start here to the really first gun round of Digital Dynasty.
This is an interesting alt choice, especially with it only being the stinger. But is he able to catch one off guard? No. Sheriff able to help out Cloudy by that shoulder peek. And Adderall already in U-Haul catches Dezu out basically off guard. I mean, I think they were focused too much on Shower. They were playing, I guess, a retake on A. They weren't really showing any presence, so they just let them kind of walk up. And 10 bans on the rotate here. I mean, down to a 2v4 situation. This is the round Digital Dynasty really needed, and with Brimstone being lit, they just need to stay alive, which I think they will. Combo able to clean up that round. Just flawless.
Yeah, perfectly placed there for Digital Dynasty. They did exactly what they needed to do to put Houston in a position where they really couldn't retake. And so now the real rifles come out for Houston. They have the opportunity to really get things back into this round. But again, with the limited investment last round, they have plenty of cash to do just that. And in fact, a little bit of bonus cash as well. So they're not in a bad position at all as we move into round number 5. And again, a bit of a slow, methodical start here for Houston. I do, or rather for Digital Dynasty, my apologies on the attack. I really do like how they kind of start things out pretty slow and steady on their attack.
Yeah, and it looks like Brimstone on Digital Dynasty is really hurt. I'm not sure where he got hurt from, but I mean, that's a pretty big deal. And now Sova just gets spammed through and is hurt as well. And I mean, this is gonna be a tough take, especially with 2 people with low health. And they really should start grouping up here because they've made their presence in hookah. They've made their presence long B. I think it's a little bit time. It's time to group up and really take something.
Yeah, 45 seconds left. That's certainly the time frame that you would be looking at, but so many tags there. The offense is not at full health at any point, though the spike is getting planted, and it's a full 5-on-5 retake. Because now everybody's going to have to make some adjustments. Sheriff, hearing the sound cue, should know there's at least one player there. Hero theft in order to try and see where everybody's at and gets the information. As Bumbo not going to be falling to the swing. Now 3-on-3, even Steven, both sides, as ooh, that's a nice cancel. The Hunter's Fury not really going to be picking much of anything up, and so now Cloudy left in a difficult spot as he's got to find 2, not even going to find the first, as the paint shells are much too strong. Arisu going to pick up the triple kill to close out the round, and recovery in for Houston Alpha.
Yeah, and that was a big round. I mean, now Digital Dynasty is kind of forced to buy in hopes of winning this round, and if they do lose this, their economy is basically reset and they have to start over. But again, even if Houston were to lose this round, they would still have money for the next, and they're playing relatively confident. I think Digital Dynasty should maybe work a little bit better on communicating on that post plant, because it seemed like everyone was kind of trying to do their own thing and holding that retake. But right now we see Bumbo and their Sova trying to work up long, just making noise, making presence, making sure that they don't push too far. And 10 bans, just one taps Cloudy, and I don't think they know Sully is stuck on the corner.
Yeah, this is kind of a great bait setup, because you know the Rays takes all of the aggro essentially from these 2 players, and then they're not even ready for Sully, and indeed they're not. So Sully gets the first and then dismisses out, where the Rays Arsui picks up the following frag. It makes things so difficult. 10 bans now on the flank to get Sheriff, takes him down, and it's suddenly a 1-on-5. You know, you blink and you miss it here, Kevin, and it's suddenly the round ended. Houston just pushing in and finding the frags everywhere.
Yeah, that dismissal and that switch and bait with Rays, I mean, that was incredible. I mean, once Sully dismissed that after getting that initial pick on Bumbo, they didn't really know where to look. They kept tracing him, and that's where Ari essentially just peeks out and just gets that pick, and that beta switch worked perfectly. And I mean, it brings them to a 5-on-1. It looks like Digital Dynasty is going to force up to buy next. I mean, they have a bunch of stingers and sheriffs. I think it's still possible. I wouldn't count it a wash. And Cloudy able to start that off by killing Ari while grabbing the orb. But do they know Sully is here?
Great reposition there for Sully. does pick that kill up, and Panzer follows things up with another. So the spike plant is in, but it's still a disadvantage when it comes to the players for Digital Dynasty. They have got to try and figure out a way to claw back this round, as everybody else has rotated in. Solid stuff, spots one out, and that's the double kill from Desu to find that. As now it's just the Sheriff left in a 1-on-4. It seems like it's so impossible, and not even able to pick up the one is now, well, it is another defuse here for Houston, and this should be their 6th.
Yeah, I mean, Sheriff and the Sheriff there, he really tried to make something happen, almost connected to a couple of heads, but unfortunately, it was just a mess there, and he was unable to get anything going. But here's the next buy round. I mean, this is a must-win. If they lose this, it's a potential for an 8-1 score. And I mean, 8-1 is a pretty big deficit. It's not the way they wanted to start off. They're getting close, but it's the little things right now. I feel like their post plants, they're not really gaining enough control on the maps. They're just backing up and allowing them to retake without any sort of aggression.
Yeah, I mean that's just it. I think you really have nailed that, because you know, whenever we see Digital Dynasty gain the site, they just want to sit there and chill out, not really take any fights. And you have to take fights even on, I mean, it's the same concept as on your defense, right? But that the opening kill does go Digital Dynasty's way. This is, you know, if there's 3 phases of a round, you know, the opening, the middle, and the end, this is the time which Digital Dynasty has been at their best, always able to try to get an opening pick, or at least trade out effectively onto a site. But then that closeout not been their best. Desu going to be finding a return kill in the neural theft end. So everybody has an idea of where the attackers are sitting. Let's see what they do with that information. It looks like a re-hit over towards A. Early aggression was there, and now they're coming back.
Yeah, and they're playing still relatively passive. They're not showing too much info of where they're playing, just waiting for them to get onto site, and then they're going to plan their retake. And Desu able to get rid of Bumbo, but gets traded off by Cloudy, and he knows Adderall gets Panzer, and Tanbands is still in B. They need to act fast here and get in a proper post plant.
Yeah, they do. This is exactly where I think we could see Digital Dynasty really turn things around. 2v1, perfect situation. Just play off the trade, make sure that you both can peek that same aim and go at the same time, and take Tanbands out. So 2 shock darts here in hand, as well as a as 1 arrow in the quiver. But we'll see how it goes. That 1v1 looking strong, and oh no! They ran away. He's allowing for 2 1v1s, and like I said, the sonar going out is going to be taken out by Adderall. So Sova v Sova, the jump peak not working out in his favor, but the shot is on target. And so Adderall with a triple kill. But again, I think that round really shows me the mindset of Digital Dynasty. That's playing to lose, Kevin. That's not playing to win.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of their post plant setup, even though it was a 2v1 situation. I mean, whenever you have a man advantage, you always want to play to that. You don't want to make it another 1v1 potential. You want to play it to a 2v1 and at least play for that trade. If you still lose that round, I mean, the opponent must have done something crazy. But realistically, playing a 2v1 into 2 1v1s, you're right. It's not playing to win. And Bumbo, I mean, opening up the round by Sully, I think they're starting to feel their shots a bit, and their executions are starting to speed up a little bit. But it's really down to their post plans.
Yeah, exactly. These early stages are really strong. Adderall with an opening pick yet again, and that's 2, in fact, for Digital Dynasty. The Hunter's Fury comes out in return, so that is going to get actually 2 tags, in fact, and a kill to close things out. That opens up a lot of avenues for Panzer to close things down, and gets a double kill in return. So just 2 players left. Cloudy and Vince investing to run it back, Paranoia in order to try and defend. As run it back, not able to do up much, but then Cloudy able to find that frag in the latter stages of the run it back, as now a 2-on-2 even Stevens situation. Houston They get the plant down.
Planted.
Let's see
One
what they can
enemy
do with it. And
remaining.
again, Tanban's perfectly placed with those shock darts, and Panzer closes things out with a triple. And I mean, this is exactly what we were just talking about, Kevin. I misspoke. What I meant to say before is that oftentimes in those post plans, Digital Dynasty is playing not to lose rather than playing to win the round out.
Yeah, and it doesn't seem like Digital Dynasty is having any issues taking the sites. It's just the post plans. It came down to that, and I mean, the way Houston is playing, they're just playing passive. They're on the same page. They're retaking together, and using their ults and playing off of each other. That's the difference maker right now. It's not entering the site, right? They're getting the sites almost every time. But they're losing the post plants. They're not able to hold the retake.
Yeah, Panzer, in fact, was in a bit of an open scenario last round, but it didn't really matter because the passivity on the defense of the retake just allowed for him to do with what he wanted. And so now we get into what is round number 10. So some aggression over towards long. An operator there on defense, and so then Digital Dynasty was like, yeah, no, let's move away. But Desu through the smoke is going to be picking up 2, make that a 3rd as he's gone into the correct position and well closes things out. Desu, the shooting gallery, allowing him to pick up absolutely everything. And Houston, they pick up another round, number 8 now for them.
No one left to send a message. Oh,
Yeah, and you know that saying, Houston, we have a problem? I think that's what Digital Dynasty is saying right now. I mean, what they were doing, Desu was just able to pick people off one by one, and like the time frame between each, it just doesn't even seem like they're beside each other. So I feel they're still going one by one now, and their morale is a little bit low. I think they just really need to group up, take something together, and just gain more control. They're losing too many people on the entries, which is probably also affecting their post plant because they're just not confident. They aren't really in the right spots to be able to actually crossfire with each other. So, I mean, they just need to play together.
Yeah, exactly. You definitely have to be playing together if you want to get a victory. But a 1-for-1 trade over towards long does net an advantage yet again for Houston as it's followed up by a showstopper. Bombo is able to pick up the return frag. So even 3-on-3 yet again as Houston, they have rotated in though. So this is yet again a grid situation where Digital Dynasty, they have created a great opportunity for themselves, but can they deliver with 50 seconds left on the clock?
Yeah, and with that paranoia Panzer just threw it definitely delays them a little bit more, but now they know one's in hookah for sure. Looper able to get the pick, and Panzer's left stuck in sight, and is able to get one, but gets taken out by Looper. That's the round they needed. That was their force buy.
Last round in the half.
Yeah, exactly. That was the necessary round, and I mean I think that very much so. 10-2 is a half that I don't really, it's you can always come back, but I don't really find that a really great scenario to try and come back from. Though if you're able to move it to a 9-3, an 8-4 sort of scenario, that's significantly better. And hopefully we're going to be seeing that Digital Dynasty are poised to bring it to that 8-4. And we'll see if they can do that, but that's a great opening arrow. So much information gained without really committing anything from Tanbens.
Yeah, and if they can bring it to an 8-4 half, that could be enough. I mean, every round they can get at this point is the better. Makes it a little bit easier to kind of claw their way back in, but Hands are able to spray 2 down, and possibly a 3rd and 4th? Almost. He took a lot of damage, but Looper able to counter with another 2. And there's the TP. They're going A.
Oh, but that's a nice find there. Arsui on the flank does even things out a little bit. And so now retake incoming. Spike plant, like you said, heading towards A, but Airsuit yet again. This prime position knows there's now no one over towards showers, and so that's half of this retake. Really found out, and oh, perfectly placed paint shells opens things up. It's Cloudy left in this 1-on-2. That stone heart dart makes things so difficult. It's now. He does find the first, but it's not going to be missed. Tanban's closing things out, and so 9-3 the half in the favor of Houston Alpha.
Yeah, that round, I mean, it got bad really quickly, but Looper was able to just ult and also kill one and kind of even it up. But at the end of the day, Sully was the only, well, no, Bumbo was the only one that teleported with bomb, and everyone else, I mean, Cloudy was trailing far behind, and they were just all over the place. They were like 2-3 different 1v1 situations that could have happened throughout the entire time, and they weren't really on the same page. I felt like the TP towards A was kind of like a last minute decision, and not everyone was prepared for it.
Yeah, University of Houston Alpha definitely showing that they are certainly the favors to win out this game, because they are effectively trading all the time, making the right decisions and playing this correctly in most of these situations, where I do find that Digital Dynasty are making some of those individual, or rather just general mistakes that we do tend to see from a team that isn't necessarily as hasn't had as much time to work things out together.
Yeah, and with this setup, it looks like they're stacking 3 towards A, and I think they're starting to notice that and wanting to make a little bit more presence towards B. It looks like Raze might have boom botted towards Hookah just to make some noise and keep the defense a little bit honest, but it looks like they're just going to default back towards A and take this fast.
Yeah, and well, I was gonna say the flash comes out, but it's not really effective considering the near side. And so now everything looking pretty good for Digital Dynasty. Is it's just Panzer left in a 1-on-4, is able to recover that spike and is gonna get away over towards B, but the rotation's already incoming, and Adderall should be moving away from the opposing position and gets tagged by a Cam. And Panzer though does pick up that 1 kill. That's very nice stuff from Panzer to pick that up, but I think it's inevitable, and indeed it is. Cloudy cleans up a triple kill, as now a round for Digital Dynasty. They have 4.
Yeah, that was a strong showing. I mean, Cloudy purposely baiting out that Reyna flash. I mean, it stopped them from clearing it, which I would always say clear your corners, but I mean, with that positioning, with the luck that they didn't clear it, that was a great play, and he was able to get 2 picks and continue holding that shower presence, which kind of forced the people up short to kind of stay away from trying to wrap sight because of that angle that they can hold. And I mean, the rest of the team did the rest.
Yeah, exactly. And well, unsurprisingly, with this bank of rounds that Houston Alpha has, they are electing to force purchase into this round. Again, not all that odd considering the bank of rounds they've got available to them. But I mean, this is a good example of where I think the 9-3 can turn into a very close game pretty quickly. But things turning out this way. The first man to go down is for the side of Digital Dynasty. Quickly traded by Adderall though, and so it is an even trade. It's now the push onto B effective as Arisui finds yet another kill. 4-on-2 retake has to be incoming, and this is devastating here for Digital Dynasty. They needed this round. They needed to pick it up, and now it's looking all the more difficult as it's just 1 player left to find all 3 frags here. First one's good. That's Cloudy to pick up the headshot onto Panzer. And he's tagged down a little bit for his trouble, and Tanbeds cleans that up. So the force buy effective for Houston Alpha this time around.
Yeah, and see, that's the time that the force buy works well, because now you kind of shifted the momentum, and it almost guarantees you 1 more round because the other team's going to be broke. But that's the gamble. I mean, if you choose not to force buy, you're guaranteed to have full guns in the next round. But then again, you could get bonused again, right? So that's the gamble that teams have, I guess, chosen to take. A lot of teams, unfortunately, have chosen to force, but we rarely see that outcome the way they want it. And Panzer able to take out Adderall even while getting pinged and smoked out. I mean, that's just a huge deficit to start, especially on the defense side.
Houston Alpha, they're just firing on all cylinders here, really not having any problems whatsoever on any of their engagements. So even though Cloudy is getting aggressive over here towards A, he's going to find out this information, but I don't know if it's going to be quite enough. There's just 2 players here on the defense and one playing close. That's the Reyna, is going to get the engagement here shortly, as there's 2 players in hookah, so could see that, but doesn't work out in the favor of a Pumbo there. As now the spike plant incoming. So Houston, yet again, 5-on-3 here, and the retake gonna need to be impeccable. Sheriff opens things up with a nice little headshot, but Tanban's trading things out immediately makes it yet again a 2-man advantage, and Looper is hit with a shock dart. And I mean, you gotta be feeling bad if you're Looper. You're like, you know, what am I supposed to do? I'm just trying to get away with my life, and not able to even do that. Cloudy alone and now in the grave to join the rest of their team. It's another round here for Houston.
Yeah, and Panzer has essentially been the person to really shut down both their attack and defensive side by getting these opening picks, and it's been crucial as well, which affects their take. And right now, it almost seems like now the problem that Digital Dynasty has is whether or not they should fall off and start playing a retake or try to hold site for that retake. I mean, it seems like they're kind of stuck in the middle. Some are trying to hold the site and get entries as they come in just to get as many bodies down as possible. And the others are trying to wait for their team. So they really need to kind of communicate together to see which one they actually want to do.
Yeah, the idea there, you know, just group up together, make the right decisions, and then hit the site together. But with that said, Houston looking like they want to be moving over towards A this time around. And indeed, it's going to be that A hit. Spike is there as well. So the split incoming. There is 2 players in defense, or rather, really 3. 1 player up in heaven as well as one close here on the showers. So if Sully puts this in a correct position, could open things up effectively, but the first one not going to be. And what doesn't matter that it's not super well placed for Sully, as he picks up the kill on the Cloudy. That's a very frustrating kill if you are on the defenses. Arasui, another kill with that paint shell. So good at getting the frags with the utility there, the raise for Houston Alpha. And so a 3-on-4, make that a 3-on-3. And now, well, Adderall, the sole defender left. He does get a double kill. The spray control is solid. And so now a nice opportunity for him to pull things out. But the problem is, look at the ultimates. I mean, both of these players have their ults online, and key that Hunter's Fury available. So you're going to have to play this better than perfectly in order to get this in time. And he's hit tab. He knows what's happening. Not going to be able to pick that up. And the spike, it's ticked too far gone. So we're headed to match point here, as even Sheriff not able to get out with his life. Makes it a nice round for Houston Alpha.
He missed the TP.
I know.
He wouldn't have died. Oh, that must be so upsetting.
I mean, you're down 12-4 right now. I think that's also pretty upsetting.
It is, and Looper definitely timed out. I was gonna ask that because it looked like he got revealed by the silver dart, and he was just getting spammed, but was fully standing still. And it seems to be the case that he has timed out. So there is a quick pause here for the last round. But man, Sheriff, if he had saved that rifle, that would have been so crucial because he could still buy here.
Yeah, exactly. That's the key, right? You know, every one of those rifles is so important. Granted, you know, it's a significant deficit, 8 rounds deficit, in fact, here for the Digital Dynasty squad. But you know, you got to take it round by round, and so this round would have been a certainly much better investment if they were to have that rifle in hand. So everything does matter is kind of what I'm getting at, Kevin. And so I think we are, to be fair, it's gonna be inevitable to see Houston take this at some point. But for me, Digital Dynasty, they certainly need to work on those late round scenarios. What have you seen on their defense here that you think is not necessarily working out in their favor?
I, I just think it's that indecisiveness, whether or not they want to try to hold the site or just fall off and play for a retake. There's too much of both happening in the same round. So often enough, I mean, it ends up being a 3v4 situation or 3v5 on a retake if they lose the fights. And I mean, on the attack, it was always they don't have the issue of getting the site control. They're getting it, but they're just not getting enough. And the way they're playing the post plants is they're playing too individual, of an individual style of Valorant where they're just trying to hold whatever they're watching one by one. And if they lose that fight, I mean, they're down a man. Now they're down a man. Now it's even harder. Now the other team, as long as they're playing for those trades, it's hard for them to lose, right? And again, it's not anything major. They have the aim, and they've shown us that they have the ability to just crush a site. But it's that how do you hold the site? That's the question for them.
How do you play off of your teammates? Where do you get aggressive on your defensive side? That's something that I think an extra, step, an extra gear that we just haven't seen yet from Digital Dynasty. So again, I do think that that's something that comes with a lot of experience. So I don't know what this roster looks like experience wise, but like we said, first time we've seen them. So I'm going to make the assumption that they're a newer roster, and if not, I do apologize. But something that I do think comes with that um, comfortability with the rest of your team. So for me, it has to be, if Dynasty want to come back into this, they need to start getting a little bit more aggressive. They need to be making decisions, like you said. Not there's a really intelligent way of thinking that I think comes from Overwatch actually, but it is that a bad decision that everyone does together is a strategy, right? And a but if everybody's kind of doing their own thing, then it's not really a strategy. It's just a lot of potentially bad decisions happening. Even if one person does the right thing and four other people don't, you're not really playing things together. And so for me, that's sort of what we've been seeing: some individual decision making coming through, and not all bad from Digital Dynasty, just not together.
Exactly. And I mean, I couldn't have said that better myself. That is a great saying, in fact. And I haven't really heard of it that way until you said it. And I mean, I'm happy that you did because it's a much easier way of saying things. But you're 100% right. If they're all on the same page, no matter if it's a good decision or a bad decision, as long as they're all committed to the plan, it's going to be better than five people doing five separate things. And that's kind of comes to show um again, they could be a newer team. We don't know. It's their first time in our event, so we're happy to see, and I'm super happy to watch them grow. I mean, even back to Red Lotus. I mean, we've seen them week after week after week, and every single time they've come, they've improved, right? And they've gotten
Mhm.
better and better. Whether it be just getting better at playing in a tournament or just playing together, all these little things. And I'm excited to see Digital Dynasty grow. I mean, right now they're probably having a rough time against Houston. But it's really minor things. If they're switching it up to playing together, I think this game would be a whole different score.
Yeah, I have to fully agree with you. That is absolutely the case. You make and you see the what happens, right? A team getting aggressive, playing like four rifles over towards hookah or something. That's not like it's not a strategy that is normally going to be working out. But if four people go and do it, it does. It happen. It happens. You're able to make those trades effective because it's such an odd thing, something you wouldn't expect. So, uh, I'm excited, like you said, to see what Digital Dynasty can continue to do. That's why Pit of Valor exists. It exists to give the opportunity for these up and coming rosters in order to get the experience playing in tournament environment, playing in a situation where they have it all on the line. With a little bit of cash available. So it's really great to see. And so we are finally going to get back into the game for now. And so it will potentially be the last round. We don't know just yet. Digital Dynasty is sitting at an 8-round deficit, like we were talking about, as they move into what would be potentially final round territory.
It's a very interesting dart. I think it was missed, but
Yeah, I think
Cloudy able to start off the round with that opening pick, and Tanbans is already in showers. I mean, they have bomb A. They're planning. This is going to be a fast retake by them, but they do have the man advantage, the two-man advantage, actually. And, I mean, Pans are able to kind of start evening it out, and I don't think they will. Oh my god, Tezu and Tanbans able to just switch it. It went from a 5v4 or 5v3 into a 1v3.
Oh yeah, and that was Looper, who, by the way, was DC'd, and so they just decided to play out that last round at an effective 5v4. And respect to Digital Dynasty for making that decision, not wanting to hold anybody up. Much respect. They saw, oh, hey, this is probably not going to be going our way. So, while it stinks, certainly appreciate the positive vibes that way. But all of that said, Houston taking that 13-4 and Digital Dynasty, they fall. It is, single elimination here, so we will be saying goodbye to them for the time being. But I think props to them. Their opening run here in the Pit of Valor, getting to this round, third round, by no means an easy thing to do. There is some very good squads that have lost already, and Red Lotus a good example of one of those semifinalists from last week. So all that to say, a good game all around.
Yeah, and I'm happy to see, how these teams continue to grow. And if you haven't already, our Pit of Valor happens every single Wednesday, and registrations are open for next week already. So if you haven't already, feel free to sign up. It's for all types of ranks. Again, it's something where you can have fun every single Wednesday for a little bit of glory, right? We offer the opportunity to cast it, and I know with tier 1 and 2 Valorant, it's usually always those set teams that are getting casted. So that's what we like to do here at Great Lakes Gaming. We do this Pit of Valor, open to every type of rank. We cast your matches, whether you're amateur or pro or semi-pro, doesn't matter. We have fun doing it. We do it for you guys, and I mean, you get a little bit of glory just like we do every Wednesday when we get the opportunity to cast this.
Yeah, exactly. So make sure to go and look for those signups. But I mean, that's not everything that GLG does. We also are kind of, we're expanding with our Val Am event series coming up very soon, starting out February 8th and 9th with the Trade Like Pros qualifier. For qualifiers, $100 first prize for each of those. Your team does need to be Immortal Plus in order to get into this. So this is certainly the highest of the high when it comes to the ranked ladder, especially. But we're gonna have a whole lot of interesting teams. I've seen the sign up sheet. I know I'm leaks out here, but there's some fun rosters on that one. So for that reason, make sure that you go out there and you get in here. I mean, listen, there's going to be a whole lot of fun, and it does give you the opportunity to qualify for a grand finale $2,000 event. Top two teams from each qualify. So not only do you get the chance to win $100, but you get a chance to win a $2,000 grand prize at the end with our grand finale event. So the top two teams from each of the two qualifiers to make it there. So make sure that you take a look. Take a look at that. Take a look on Twitter. Lots of information there at the GLG Twitter as well. As you can get a sponsor pass, a qualifier pass that gives you all entry to all four of those qualifiers, and then just the regular qualifier ticket, which is just one qualifier a piece. And so yeah, make sure to check that out because it is going to be a whole lot of fun. I'm super excited for it, Endless.
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, I see chat asking what's behind the doors. I mean, I can't really tell you that. Everyone's always asking. maybe one day we'll finally show you guys. But we'll be back next with the semis. Again, this is Pit of Valor every Wednesdays, and it's brought to you by GLG.
Live life at full speed, easy to see when we collide. No one walks away easy. I never thought you'd be the one. I never meant to take your heart. I never felt so hard. I never meant to be the one. I never thought I'd break your heart. And after the stars have crumbled to dust, we still feel the warmth burning in us.
we are back with the semifinals of this week's Pit of Valor, sponsored by Drink Control, and joined back with me is my buddy here, Strive. And I mean, were you watching the last game? What are your thoughts?
I was watching the last game. I saw some really sick plays by Houston. Like I'm really pumped looking for this. And Kevin, I think this has been it's been a hot minute, and I don't think we've done too much of this, but we're doing some split.
This is, I mean, first of all, the Valorant gods must have heard our prayers, because I've wanted to see this new split in action, and it hasn't been played enough, especially here at Pit of Valor. I think this is my first time casting split for GLG in general.
Dare I say, unless I think it is my first time too. Like we've seen, like we had like chunks of Ascent, and then we had chunks of Bind. But now, guys, we get to see some high level play on Split. As you guys know, a lot of changes came through on this map. A lot of physical map changes, which have made this a very how can I say, different map to play. The entrances into B have changed. We have a wider entrance that we look at. We have a different staircase that lets you bot into the back of site. They've changed our mid rope situation, which is a wider opening, and the angle is not so hard on the left, so you can get in there and clear. And the hiding potential is a little bit harder. Just these small changes around, a couple small nuances in A. Kevin, this is going to be different. I think I'm going to learn something today, seeing this level of gameplay, and I'm really looking forward to seeing what the teams have in store for us. What are your predictions, and what do you think is going to go down here? Houston versus SDK on Split.
I mean, again, I haven't seen enough of Houston. We did get to see them last game. They played really strong. But again, Digital Dynasty, they had the right idea. They had the right mentality. They were getting the site controls. It just came down to their post plans. But what I've noticed from Houston Alpha, I mean, they've done really well on retakes, and just post plans. They're very strong in that aspect. SDK, I mean, haven't gotten to see them at all yet. So I'm assuming it's still going to be very, very close, considering both teams made it to the semis and have that opportunity to make it to the grand finals. But again, split. It's become such an even map now, with the differences they've made, and there's just, even playing it myself, I mean, I've played it so many times, especially with Sova and things like that. It's just, there's so many different ways to condition players. I'm just curious to see their character comp, right? And I think that's where we're gonna go right now, just to see what kind of comp they're gonna pick. I didn't get to keep track though. Was it the Omen or the? I think the Omens won. Huh? I think that, yeah, the Omen team won. So it's a 2-1 Omen Brimstone lead right now. And I wonder if Patty's gonna lock the Brim here.
Kev, you know me. I'm a brim-oriented individual. I definitely like his smoke util. I love what they did with the change, giving him some more smoke time. What does it work out to? Approximately 25 seconds of smoke time. Different style. For those that are watching new to Valorant, Omen smokes are not, let's say, transparent like an Omen bubble, which you can walk through. So different dynamic, different playstyle. As we get into it, guys, pretty standard comp, I'd say. Endless. I'm looking to see what the Omen versus Brimstone diff brings to the table here for smokes.
Yeah, Omen, I think this is the map that I would have to say either one is so crucial. With the rotates in this map being so far apart, that Omen teleport is just incredible. But then Brim with the ult, I mean, you can get ropes control, you can play post plants. There's just so many different opportunities. So I'm curious to see. I mean, I think this map will come down to the difference of Reyna or Jett.
I'm with you on that 100%. The impact players, as we know, Reyna, huge clutch ability, huge engage ability as well. But you can't dismiss the knife power, the dash in of Jett, the quicker style of gameplay, being able to get into a site, get out of a site, and pick and dip, as I would say. And look at this amazing panorama by Production Gang. Big ups to them, guys, as we get ourselves into some split matchup here.
Yeah, it starts off with a little bit of a conditioning by Ramen, sending out the boom bot just to get some info and make some noise there at B. But the rest of the team is essentially grouped up in mid, with Killjoy kind of lurking outside A, making some presence, and they're playing relatively passive here at A.
Definitely passivity is the theme here thus far. We're just getting started as looking like a little pokey poke, seeing what's happening. You see Phoenix posted up. You can see the corner change as we watch Panzer here, guys. That right side of rope's a little bit different than it used to be as he gets a peek and falls off. Drops down. He's going to go back in for some more info. Endless. They're going to capitalize on mid here. As we know, mid control is huge. Blind and a dip as they're going to push into sight.
Oh, and Zack Attack able to come up ramp late and get Panzer on that rotate out of ropes, and it looks like they're fully set up, ready for this A take with 3 stuck down ropes. I think this is going to be a little bit tough. They're forced to kind of go back towards B, but Raze is already satcheled back and is ready for this take. I think they're just going to play a retake.
I think so, Endless. I think the pick and dip was the right strategy for Houston as they got that opening shot and they said, you know what, no need to commit. Let's not get too greedy. Sully gonna take out Makai here on the Phoenix. Timer's ticking. They got to slap that spike in the ground. It has to be put down the next 2 seconds, and yes, they're gonna put it. It's all good in the hood. They're posted up. Zach gonna get 1 and 2 to close it out. Endless looking very strong for SDK as Houston has 1 poor breach left in heaven. He is definitely exposed.
Yeah, and Zack Attack did a very good job that round, just kind of flanking left, right, and center. I mean, started off with the A ramp pick, and then with the delay at mid, able to catch 2 at B heaven, and that kind of forces it to a 4v1 situation. I mean, Zack Attack is hurt, but Uriel able to get that pick and end that round with a commanding 4-1 presence.
Most definitely in that box that Jet was standing on, guys, is a new addition to that B site. It's a very slippery place to hide. It's a very slippery place to get on top of. It's a new angle. It adds a new dynamic to B. And I'm looking forward, personally, Endless, I'm looking forward to seeing much more B takes because I think a large majority of the changes did take place on that side of the map. So the dynamic is definitely different at B, but we'll see what Houston decides to do here and how they decide to play on the defensive and if the SDK team are going to capitalize on the attacking end and work the B site more.
Yeah, definitely. And it brings us back to the conversation of whether or not you force on the second round. And Sully and his team did force up here. He's hiding in mailroom, tucked in the corner, and I really hope they do check this. But if he doesn't, I mean, oh, Sully able to get that initial pick. Tan Bands able to get Zack Attack as well. And that's a 2-for-1 trade. And again, Houston proving that force is to their benefit. Sully able to bring it down. It's a 5v2 situation. It's a 5v1 now with Ramen caught off guard. Still in spawn. He does have bomb though, but I mean, it's a 1v5. I don't think this is winnable.
Endless, I'm gonna side on the on your end here as the Swingaroni coming out by Ramen. Gonna take out Tan Bands as he's getting that orb. Not looking too good here. I don't foresee this working out. 4 versus 1. Spray Sully. Yes, sir. Closing that out. First round to SDK.
Yeah, so now, I mean, Houston has evened it up. And I think the scores are actually reversed here. Am I losing it? The scores were reversed?
Yeah, I think
Houston's on defense. Yeah. No, the scores are right. I'm losing it. Yeah, so Houston again proving that force. Houston, proving that force is just in their benefit. I mean, last game they did the exact same thing. They forced it. They won that round, and I mean SDK now, they're broke. This is a round for Houston to lose, but it doesn't seem like it'll be the case with Tan Bands getting Makai on that entry. Uriel boosted up, but gets taken down by Desu. And Patty's finally able to take him down, but it's not enough. I mean, they tried to get value there. They got 2, but I mean, the rest of the team, it took too long to get to those trades.
Definitely, and Killjoy had a great setup there as well. He was posted up, and you can see the Nanostorm did its job and did a lot of damage to the attacker side SDK as they tried to take on that A site. Let's see how the dynamic changes here, guys. We have heavy gun situation for the attackers SDK, and unfortunately Houston is light by. Gonna bonus here. Let's see what they make of it.
Yeah, it looks like they're on a light buy again, like you're saying, and well, this is a very interesting crosshair by Mackay, but nonetheless, Houston's gonna play the bonus, have a few vandals on those that died, and play a little bit passive here, I believe, and hopefully get a crossfire set up and be heaven, which they're walking up, and Sully able to get that initial pick and spot another 2. I think this is going to be an easy hold for them.
I think so too, Endless. And Sully's placement there, knowing that he's going to get the pick and dip with the dismiss, was just amazing. With the satchel, Patty going to digest that one. Ramen going to trade that out onto Sully, rather. Numbers are looking very strong for Houston. I want to comment on one thing. You know that crosshair you mentioned? Again, don't laugh at me. I'm the guy that makes TikTok references. I saw this on TikTok. Apparently I'm going to try this myself. That crosshair, the top dot of that crosshair, when you spray and you pull down, that shows, or not even pull down, that shows where your spray recoil goes. So you can use your center your crosshair with a dot to line up the first shot for the heads, and then once you spray, the recoil goes approximately to the height of where that crosshair, the top of it is. So it's just a way to another line up your spray recoil to control that better, apparently. So yeah, and Airsley going to clean that up. 3K for Rays as they pack on another round for Houston.
Yeah, I mean, that was just an unfortunate lineup, and I'm not too sure why SDK chose to force that round, and again, forcing for next, but I mean, that's just giving up another 2 rounds unnecessarily.
Yeah, I don't know, unless what their game plan is here. SDK is going to have to really buckle down and smarten up if they're going to do anything against the Houston guys that just came off a massive slap win here. Breach posted up. Concuss coming through, going to knock up a whole bunch of people, but I mean, too early into the round for it to really make any kind of impact and deny a push. They're ready to go. They're going to continue with the execution, but they're ready to defend as well. Flash in hand, going to send that out for sure. Lots of blinds coming out. Desu going to spray. What is he doing? Take your time. Land the headshot as they're executing onto A. Going to get one at last and getting taken out from elbow. Endless. Number advantage evened up. Let's see what they make of it.
Yeah, it's a 3v3 situation. I feel like Houston has this advantage still with all the guns, but now with that Killjoy lockdown and that nade coming in clutch, but Zach able to take one out first. And Uriel stuck in sight, but gets taken out by the Raze ult. I mean, you can't really dodge that rocket at that range.
No, that's, you know, like Coach Endless would tell you, always use your Raze rocket when you're in close proximity. Do not send it from here to Pluto, as there's a lot of time to dodge, but you're pinned in a corner, you're getting demolished by that sucker. So 4-1, Endless. Houston looking very strong. You know, the momentum carrying through from the last game as well. I mean, I'm curious to see if they change it up. Or are they going to keep pressuring the areas that have been working for them? And I think they are going to change it up. Looks like, alas, my B-Take dream is coming true.
Yeah, and I think B is a lot easier to take now, especially with that opened and widened door range, and especially with the boxes they've added in, it definitely gives you a lot more opportunity to enter the site. The choke point is a lot wider, it gives you more coverage, and I mean, by the looks of it, SDK is grouping up together, but now they also have their lockdown to kind of force Houston out of the site as soon as possible. And I mean, now it's their round to lose. They have full site control. They have that control. But here's that breach ult. And, oh my, Uriel and Mackay able to get the 2 initial picks. Arisui able to take out Ramen to kind of equalize the round. I mean, it is still a 4v3. They're all in sight. They still have to plant the bomb.
That Rolling Thunder Endless was a great decision. And looks like the capitalization, alas, coming out from SDK. They're going to, alas, I'm using that word way too much. They're going to put that spike in the ground as a kill comes out by Patty onto Panzor. It is all up to the lonesome Breach who has to hold this off. He has a pretty good idea of where people are, I'm pretty sure, but it's going to be tough. He's about to get swung and taken out. Yes. Fantastic trade. Really good teamwork, Endless.
Yeah, that's what I like to see when the little bait and switch, and even though Desu was able to take out Uriel there was that instant trade, right? And that's what's necessary. Instead of forcing it into 3 separate 1v1s, I mean, that's playing your post plant to the right, you know, like basically playing a textbook. And that was a great round. overall. So I think this is a momentum shift. I think they're gaining a little bit more confidence back. If they're able to win this round, I mean, Houston will still have money the next, but it will definitely change the way they're playing.
The economist in you is more than correct, as Ray's posted up here, has his rocket out, ready to jump into sight, peeking around the corners. They know to fall off as that thing comes in. Phoenix gonna pick up one. Strong A execute here, analysts, as they're looking like they're gonna eat a paint can. Amazing.
Yeah, that paint can really bails out a lot of situations here, and right now Uriel stuck in hell and has been spotted, but able to still take out one. And it's all up to Patty at this point, which Tanban says, I'm better.
Bands a maker dance, and that's what happened there as Killjoy picking up the kill. Tanban's the defuse for Houston, bringing out to a nice, clean 5-2 lead. Ain't nobody complaining right now as a defender, let's be honest. But, guys, like we said, to me, I haven't seen enough new split, is what I'm trying to get at. I haven't seen enough to really understand how the impact has changed from attack to defense. Previously, I felt mid control was so strong, but you pointed out, very wisely that B with that wider corridor, there's a lot more opportunity to get into sight there. And it seems to be, not necessarily panning out for the favor. They're just not landing the shots at this point, Endless.
Yeah, I mean, right now, Houston is just playing better overall team Valorant, playing for the trades, playing for the retake. And like I said before, just from watching the last match, that's one of their strengths, right? They know how to play together. They're playing more disciplined, and they're just taking everything together. And I mean, Ari's with the double nade, again, bails them out of a full B heaven take. And now Panzer, gets taken out by Patty. Are they able to even this out?
I think they might be able to. That spray was iconic. Oh, headlock. Sully connecting with that, gonna take the health out of there, and trades coming out. I swear Arasui on Raze, I think he went through a solid 25 rounds, and then all of a sudden the paint can blew up and he got the 2 kills he was trying so hard to get with his gun. He had a Phantom at that time, just spraying and praying. So all in all, tough situation for SDK. Houston's got really good momentum, Endless. It's going to take a big shift here. They're going to have to do something different. Whatever they're doing is not working. I think, give me your suggestion or your input, but I think baiting rather some of the util is going to be in their favor before they execute. I think they're working just a hair too fast.
Yeah, they're working a little bit too fast, and they're too grouped up, I would say. They're not really applying enough presence in one spot. I mean, in multiple spots. They're only in one. Now, again, Houston able to clean up that round because they're always in a buddy system. They're always ready to trade. Now, look at this entire team right now of SDK. They're all B main. They're all pushing in now, having Brim kind of lurk behind with smokes. But again, there's no presence heaven. So the entire team can just focus straight on B main.
Super execution, Endless. I really like what they did there. They committed. They went in together. That's, like you said, buddy system, right? This is like what, preschool JK. The first thing they teach you is find your buddy, right? This is Valorant, same thing, fundamentals, and it's really important to do that. So they took the site. They're looking in a great spot here. I just hope they can hold it off. The clutchability is real. Patty's just baking some cookies in main. He's ready to hold it off in case they get on it. Albeit there's so many teammates on site, I doubt that's going to happen. Are they going to commit? Let's see what they do. Probably yes. So they're going to get one, taking out the health, and he's in a great position to continue on. Can he clean up 2 more kills? I don't believe this is going to work out with the spike taking Sully 1 more. 10 bands, 1 more. Stick. I don't think there's enough time, Endless.
He's going to have to ult. I don't like what happened there. Patty definitely could have kept the ult. Unfortunately, he had to use it to get them off of the bomb last second, but it was such an advantage. But again, losing those 1v1 fights without trades, I mean, sure, Houston was able to retake it with multiple 1v1 situations, but then again, it was their round to have to win. I mean, I just think they could have played it a lot better. They didn't have to lose all that economy, let alone use that all.
100% endless, and I think I want to just go ahead and point out Houston's doing a really good job of swinging momentum from one side to the other. Sully, can he connect it? No, that shot was so important. He really needed that as he was fully ulted too. Couldn't capitalize on it. And Spike being planted now. A site is in control.
Yeah, and now they got the double lockdowns to kind of push both teams out of sight. But Tanban's able to start off with the pick, but Ramen easily equalizes there. But Desu able to kill out Makai, and Tanban's killing Ramen. I mean, Rolling Thunder?
Indeed,
Molly the bomb,
Molly.
hope for the best.
Last player standing.
Just send it, but is Zach going to get 1, 2, and 3 slap? Holding that site down like it's no one's business. Much needed round. I like it. I like it a lot.
That was a good turret. I mean, the turret always catches people off guard. And the number one reaction is to shoot it so it stops shooting you. But I think that's the biggest hiccup whenever people spot the turret, because if they spot the Killjoy as well, killing the Killjoy would be ultimately the most efficient, because the second Killjoy is down, the turret's down. But a lot of people mentally, they instantly see it, they try to break the turret, and the Killjoy peeks after that and has a little bit of a bait and switch with his own turret.
The turret has multiple purposes. It can watch a flank. It can bait a shot. It can, yeah, that's pretty much all I can really do. Who am I kidding? 6-4 endless. I want to see how this half ends out. Could be a 6-6, which is a great way to segue into our second half, and it kind of points out the sidedness of split potentially. Is this the trend we're going to see as we see more and more teams play the new split? We're going to find out.
Definitely. I mean, without these changes, I feel this would be a lot more one-sided right now.
Agreed.
But because of these slight but effective changes, it's allowing SDK to really gain control. Even if they were to 5-man something fast, they were able to take B site as they shown, along with A the previous round. But I feel like SDK right now is a little bit more of a fast-paced team. So a round like this, even though Houston is on somewhat of an eco, they really need to group up and just take something together and fast before they kind of allow them to rotate.
Definitely endless. A execute is the attempt coming out for Houston. Their man advantage 5-3. This is, I think, going to be their round, unless with some extreme swings, but no, definitely not. Too much of that happening is Zach attack mouse one gonna jump on top of Tanban's forehead on ropes. Sully gonna trade it out onto Patty to hopefully even some numbers up, but timer is ticking and she's done.
Yeah, I think they took too long, and again, Houston has just shown that they're very, very good at playing together and playing for a retake. And because they're playing so far back and them being on an eco, that round really wasn't something SDK should have lost. But I think they took a little bit too long. By the time they wanted to take site, we saw Panzer, I believe, or Tanban's actually already on the flank. So they pushed through either B or mid and got full control that they're not coming. So they cheated rotates over. It was a little bit too late. And it looks like they're trying to go for a little bit of a faster take. And they're able to take Arisui out of B main. Satchel in. Rocket out. Swarm site. And hope for the best.
And proceed to get slapped.
There they are. They close off that round fast, quick, and easy. And that's what I'm saying. I think SDK is that type of team. Being able to play a little bit aggressive, catch Houston off guard so that they can't really plan out a retake together, get as many bodies down as possible, get as much site control as possible. And that's exactly what they did. They stormed B site, which with that new update, it allowed them to do all from B main and just hold for the post plant.
Definitely, they had the right idea with that, teamwork on the blind and push, but unfortunately, it didn't pan out. Ramen tried to make that work in his favor, or sorry, my apologies. Arisui tried to make that work in his favor with Panzer's help, but didn't work out. Unfortunately, 7-5 here, endless. I think we're gonna see really, really close game. That's what my gut tells me here.
Knowing both these teams are really good at, you know, either fast-paced aggression, which Sully in them, they're storming all A, going in ropes, but Uriel had something to say, takes out Sully, but the rest are going up B main right now, which they have a crossfire setup already. Ramen able to trade out with Desu, and Zack attack stuck in sight. Able to hold it, gets one, not two, and now it's a 2v1, but both are relatively hurt. So this is a winnable round by Patty. Woo.
Strong head click there. Panzer has Spike. Is he going to do the obvious and go for the rotate to A? Is he going to double back? Let's see if Patty can whip open his strat book and read this. And Omen's like, yeah, man, I'm running. And he's going to slap that sucker down on A as Patty's going to have to lace up his Jordans and get over there quick time.
I'm surprised Patty didn't kind of just fall off to ropes and just hold an angle and see if he can hear any rotates. Kind of being in the middle, but I mean, he has smokes to work with here. He's going to work down ramp, but does he know he's going to be playing hell? I think this is an advantage for Panzer, seeing him through that smoke. And I don't know, in every game, there's certain smokes that you would want to walk through. In Valorant, I just don't think that's really the meta. Everyone expects it.
You know, I'm going to whip out the Coach Endless playbook again. Sometimes, okay, let's backtrack. There's a time to use your util, and there's a time to not use your util. In that case, you know, it's okay to use it, the smoke, I'm a fan of, but putting it in that location and then deciding to not clear your left, knowing that that's a high plausible area that he could be hiding, or rather, any tight angle is where someone would sit in a situation like that. It wasn't smart. It could have been played a little bit better, I think. And if the smoke was going to go down, maybe a bit more towards the ramp side, so you can, you know, you're not exposed on the left. But, you know, what is done is done. Moving on.
And even that smoke, I mean, it could have given, you know, the Houston player an opportunity to hide in it, play around it. I mean, it doesn't really isolate out off the map as much as he thought it would have. In fact, I felt like it gave them an advantage for the Houston team there with the Omen hiding in hell. But Patty able to get spotted by that alarm bot, and up mail they go.
Up mail they go, indeed. Endless kills getting traded out. Killjoy not in a good position health-wise, but Zach gonna slap and get one for himself as they are pushing on to B with the wrap. They're all of a sudden as Panzer picks up 2 for himself, and it looks like an easy spike down. Panzer's gonna put that guy down for the B main hold as potential kill. Desu 1 and 2. Gonna clean house, baby.
Yeah, the timing was a little bit off, and that was all Desu needed there to get both kills instead of getting pinched. And I mean, he's able to bring it to a 9-5 score. It is a buy round finally for SDK. A full buy with a bonus on Houston. So, I mean, SDK really needs to win this round, because if they don't, their economy is going to be broke.
Yeah, broke indeed, Endless. This is going to be tough for SDK. They're going to have to make some things connect as, you know, we're approaching that teetering point of 10 rounds, 11 rounds where things kind of get tough. And with 5 and a 4 gap, it's going to be very difficult to make it work. So let's see if they can capitalize and keep the momentum rolling, as Houston's been looking very strong. Breach flash, Makai 1, counter flash back out. Is he going to make use of it? Not so much. He was expecting more to come, and the tempo is going to calm down, I think, a bit, as they got to work another pick.
Yeah, and right now, I mean, SDK with a man advantage, this is what they want. You know, playing the range game, especially on the defensive side, having guns, and Zack attack able to take out Sully with that headlock. I mean, it's a 5v3 situation. I would play back, group up, and guarantee to secure this round.
Shadows traveling.
1,000,000% agree with you. No reason to expose yourself, do anything unnecessary. You know, whip out your easy bake, just breathe a little bit, and play the round out with 40 seconds taken away. Panzer taking 1, 2. Execution coming in. Uriel, good gun control, good discipline. 1, 2. Amazing trigger discipline by Jet, who picks up the 2 kills, and the Tunnel is now narrowing the light. 10! Hello.
Yeah, 10 bands is assuming the lurker role, and again, he's been the one on the defensive side as well last half, pushing through, getting info, and just getting the rotates early. But Ramen is very aware he's about to come CT, and oh, just misses him. I mean, Ramen should not lose this fight here. They should not lose any more guns than necessary. They're getting value here.
Okay.
And 10 band's able to hunt him down.
A little bit greedy, endless. I don't know. I mean, it is what it is. Given your situation, why do what you did? But okay. They got the round 9-6. This is definitely turning around, and things are looking a little bit brighter for SDK. Houston's got to keep defending and rather attack strong and be able to hold sites when they take them. They're getting in. They're just, you know, not closing out the rounds as we want them to.
Exactly. And I mean, back to the economy. With that being said, Houston already affecting SDK's economy by taking down 3 out of 5 people on a full gun round buy. Now this is their final buy round, and I mean, this is the round that should set the tone. If SDK wins this round, they understand that, hey, we can win gun rounds. It's not only because Houston was on an eco, but if Houston wins this, I mean, that's a huge statement. SDK is going to be broke, and they're not going to be invested in that GameStop, you know, stock right now, because it seems like they've missed their opportunity. But with this Omen TP, they're in B site, and I don't think SDK can defend it right now. They're going to have to play for the retake.
Definitely, Ennis, you're 100% correct. It is going to be very difficult for them to hold this off as the spike gets put down, like you mentioned yourself. And they are in a good place, and this is what I want to see. I want Houston to have a strong hold and work together. Breach still has a little bit of util. Patty going to say, nope, no more main control for you guys. You're not pushing through, but the majority of the team is posted up on site. Ramen, one for himself, one at pillar, one at backside. Can they capitalize? Patty connects the shot. Yes!
Now that's a retake. I mean, it didn't look very promising on SDK's behalf, especially losing 2 early on before the retake was able to happen. But with 3 people, they were able to take back the site and in Storm without losing anyone. It takes out the entire Houston Alpha team.
9-7 endless. Tides are tilting for sure. SDK must be feeling really good about themselves right now as they're closing the gap, which is exactly what they want.
And if only we could close the gap with COVID, but I mean, it doesn't seem like it's going to be happening anytime soon. But again, SDK proving their resiliency. Houston Alpha able to buy up for next. I mean, light armor, sheriffs. They have tan bands on a full buy, though. As long as they're playing, I guess, passive and together, I still think this is still slightly defensive sided.
Agree. More than 110% agree with you. I think it's definitely showing itself. As I think they're doing a tech pause from what I can see in the chat. Yes. Yes, very much tech pausey. And let's have a conversation while this is taken where we're on the pause here. What do you want to see from Houston that they can do better? I think they've definitely managed to smarten up on their takes. I will say the last round I saw a very strong take, a very reasonable hold, good teamwork, and they connected shots. They pushed in the site together. I saw Brimstone when it was backed up right away. They traded out the kills on the pillar and the back site. That's what you want to see. You don't want to get one guy running in, getting shot from 2 different ways on a crossfire. That is counterproductive. That is not what you want. So all in all, Houston's doing the right things. I think if they carry out that same level of discipline moving ahead, they can close out this. But at the same time, SDK has shown their resilience. Thoughts, opinions? How do you think this is going to pan out?
Houston, I think they played really well. The last round, I think they just lost it due to some sort of miscommunication. And I mean, SDK, they went into that site on the retake on a mission. And the way they were hitting those shots and how quick of a retake that was, despite the time ticking down, they were able to get it done. And they were really on the same page there, and it came down to their teamwork. It was slightly better than Houston's that round, and they were able to take all those 1v1 fights and actually win back the site. But I mean, what could they do better? It's just the slight miscoms, I would say. Nothing crazy. Both teams are performing really well right now. They're getting those opening picks. It's just down to their discipline. When they're up that man or two advantage, how do you change your play style? I mean, we've seen SDK 2 rounds ago. They got those opening picks, turned it to a 3v5 situation. Then they all completely sat back and just waited for more pushes. Too often enough, I mean, we see teams trying to hold sites without anyone even getting into sight or even planting, right? So, I mean, we are back, and I think as long as they play this passive and play that range game, there's no way the Stinger will beat their Phantoms and Vandals.
You whipped out the strat book and really explained that super well, Endless, and I agree with you. Right now, I don't foresee this working out too well for the weaker guns. But you made a really good point, which I want to reiterate and back, is knowing how to change tempo. It's good to push the gas and really aggress, but understanding when to go, when to back off, get your pick, and then breathe a little bit. That's what makes teamwork and allows you to get rid of some of the predictability that you think, right? You're pushing the gas. Some people will expect the gas to keep coming down, and no, you back off, you breathe a little, and it opens up opportunity for a potential flank, gathering of some more information. But I think they're going to execute onto A here, Endless, as we have 3 people towards the B side. Good decision. Let's see if they're going to take it down to 30, 35 seconds and push, or if it's coming up right now.
Yeah, and it looks like they're swarming towards A, and they're not really ready for it. Zack Attack gets smoked out, but with the Molly, they're able to delay the push and catch some rotates over. And as they're taking sight, Zack Attack able to spray down to Ramen again with the paint can, getting out Desu. And Zack Attack still alive in sight. And Arisui gets taken out by Makai. That's a good hold. I would say only losing one person on a pivotal round is crucial. Their economy is great. Zack sitting at 8K rid of the buy, and I mean, their money is in a very good spot. If they're able to win this next round, that could bring them to a 10-9 lead.
Definitely, Endless. And like you mentioned, finances very, very strong for STK. They're in a great place to keep pushing. Houston, got to be careful. Funds are obviously not in as good of a place, but then again, it's irrelevant. You win the round, it's all good. You can make it happen, pick up guns, destroy some economy as you do that. And we see a bit of a slight change of pace. Right here. I think things are definitely calming down. It looks more B oriented, but you can see the buddy system in B is super, as Jet using that dash to get out of that situation, going to take the pick on Raze. Number advantage is looking really good right now for SDK. This is what they need, Endless. Now they just have to keep on holding. They have a pick on defense. No need to aggress. This goes back to your philosophy, or your mentioning of knowing when to push the gas, and now it's about holding.
Exactly, and when you get that opening pick, immediately what goes on in the enemy's team is they immediately want to equalize. And if you don't give them that opportunity, they start to scramble. And that seems to be the case here. And oh my goodness, that rocket's not catching anyone, but Sully's able to take out Ramen. And they have officially swarmed B Heaven into sight, which only leaves Brimstone in sight, which he's able to take out Tanvans. But now it brings it to a 3v2 situation in favor of Houston.
That time the Reyna was definitely able to capitalize. Panzer unable to weasel his way out of there. He's detained for another 2-3 seconds. Zack, check behind you, buddy. Oh, he spotted him. And can he get the swing on him? Nope. Zack in a much better position to defend, as the Peaker's advantage did not pan out for him that time. And easy stuff. SDK bringing it back very nicely on that one.
I think that Omen TP just wasn't far enough, and unbelievably, SDK just retakes that again with 2 major picks, especially with the 2 lockdown by that Killjoy. I mean, that was so crucial. That's the round they needed, and this is our opportunity to take that lead.
100%. This is what we wanted to see. I think SDK is feeling super good about themselves. They can definitely make this work. They just got to stay cool, calm, collected. and really know when to, like you said, push the gas and back off. Let's see what they can make of it here as they're aggressing their way into male. Desu ready to concuss for them as well, as I think it's going to be a B pinch here. Let's see if Jet and Killjoy decide to rotate over and join the party.
Yeah, and before they're even up male, they're taking a good amount of damage. Desu's still trying to work this B main with their Killjoy, but Patty able to get Sully with that ult. And this is going to be an extremely hard take. But Harisui and Desu able to change that and get guns, which brings it to a 3v3 situation and a full retake for SDK, along with that Killjoy ult.
Patty connecting it, trade out by Desu. Zach gonna make the shot happen as they are sticking that guy. Or sticking it, what am I saying? They're planning the spike, hello. The detain took place and Desu reads that really well, but Jet, that is, oh my god, I am so hyped up right now. That was such a good, really good patience, and Jet decided to step out of the radius of that Killjoy detain, which was the best thing, a little head nod there to seal the deal. This just turned right side up or downside on its head there, Endless.
Yeah, I'm not super thrilled about how much damage they got, and how much, I guess, value that Houston was able to get that round, especially with them only being on a save. But I mean, nonetheless, they did not lose the op on Uriel. They're able to win that round. I mean, that lockdown that happened on Patty, it was just enough, and the timing couldn't have been better for Uriel to peak after just to get that trade. And I mean, it brings them to that 10-9 lead that we were talking about. Now this is the next round. Everyone has full guns. It's an even round, and Uriel able to get Sully instantly, makes it a 4v5. And look at what they're doing. They're kind of backing up now. They're getting into more passive angles. They got the opening pick. They're not allowing any equalization to happen. And they're just playing together, playing passive, waiting for the initial peak.
And there we saw Rolling Thunder was in the hands of Breach as he was about to engage, and there it comes out. They're going to have to capitalize on this sooner than later. Is it a fake out? It doesn't really matter at this point because Houston got denied. They could not follow up with that Rolling Thunder. They're going to have to, or they're going to decide rather to fall off as Makai strong post up on the flank. He's going to deny the rotate out through mid, so that's really strong. Only leaves the opportunity of CT and going back to B. And given the situation and the numbers, I think Houston's just going to try and chill out. I'd personally try and keep my gun, but that's going to be tough with 5 people up.
Yeah, and I mean, this is where it kind of changes full momentum. Being up 2 rounds now, especially with a crazy amount of economy, it doesn't leave Houston with much to work with. Their economy looks a little bit hurt right now. I mean, hopefully they invested in some stocks this past week because a lot of them are booming, but it looks to seem they're just going to save and hope for the best next round and regroup.
Agree. Good decision to save. I'm happy they followed through with that, and that was by far the best decision. No need to get greedy. You're in a tight position as it is. Losing economy is not the right play, and I mean, looking at the financial situation, Houston's already in a very tough spot. They really, really, really need this. There's really no more breathing room. The noose is at its fullest, and I'm hoping they can pull out a rabbit here out of the hat and make a round come to their side because they need it. It's getting too tight to breathe now, Endless.
Yeah, this is what I was wondering. I mean, them being 1 round away from match point, I mean, I was gonna wonder, are they gonna play for the tie or are they gonna play for the win? And it seems to be they're gonna be playing for the tie, buying enough for next, just in case they do lose this round. They don't want to basically forfeit the next round just being on a full eco. So it seems to be the right choice here. They're not far from a tie. They could definitely make this happen. They just need a little bit of teamwork. It looks like they're kind of grouped up towards mid with Reyna and Killjoy, kind of making some presence at A and B. And I think they're just going to take mid and try to get some rope control or male control and work off a split there.
You got it. You nailed it on the head there, Endless. I think they're going to execute on a strong male and B pinch. Breach is ready with the concuss. I think they're going to flash out. There it is. That forces Patty to give it up. He's have to retreat to stairs. He doesn't have an aggressive angle any longer. And Heaven Control looking great. Panzer, a little burn as the Brim tries to hold them off. And here's the pinch. Can they hold them off? They definitely can. 1, 2, and 3, and 4. Panzer with a double. And Euro going to take out Panzer with the knife. That's such a good hold, Emma.
Match point.
Strong. Such a good hold. I love it. Absolutely love it.
Yeah, I think that hold was actually quite incredible. I really liked the way SDK played that round. They knew they were either on a full or force buy, or they're just gonna buy for next, and they did not give any opportunity for Houston to even open up that round. They played incredibly passive. They played back. They played disciplined. They waited for them to attack them, and that's exactly what they needed to do that round. And I think they're gonna continue to do that this round.
Yes, sir, indeed. Coach Endless, words of wisdom as the tides have shifted now towards the A. The bot is shooting its heart out, trying to do some damage as Panzer. Gonna make a shot connect. This is not what SDK wants, but let's see what they can make of it. One man down and a Killjoy less than half HP. Euro gonna connect on one, evening out the numbers. Endless, I think we are in for a treat this round. Let's see if SDK can keep on holding. Ramen connects it. Amazing. That's exactly what they wanted. Houston is in a great position to hopefully get a spike. Yes, they get the spike. And SDK, what are they going to do?
So he comes back with that rocket, but Paddle able to take out Desu in sight, but Ramen's holding this smoke and able to get Panzer. Brings it down to a 2v1, but Zack Attack able to close this game out, and SDK is going to advance to this Wednesday's Pit of Valor Grand Finals.
Endless, that was such a nice match to watch. That raised paint can, that could have been it. The positioning, they were sitting on top of the spike, and had he just maybe, jiggle peeked and tossed it, done something different, I don't know, but that felt so close. I almost tasted that for them, but it didn't connect. That was really good gameplay. And I'm so happy we got to do this on Split as we, are buttoning up our tail end of the cast here. Endless thoughts, opinions. I want to hear what you gave us some awesome wisdom and coaching throughout that game. What else do you want to share with the viewers?
I mean, overall, I think what won that game was SDK switching on that switch of discipline. And I mean, from the first half of the game, Houston came out extremely strong. They came out swinging with their momentum, but at the end of the day, their discipline did lack with the over peaking. And on the attacking side, it just seemed like everyone was kind of on a different page, I would say. SDK, they chose to be aggressive and passive at the perfect times, getting that initial pick, falling off, not giving Houston a single opportunity to kind of get back into it. And I mean, they deserve it. They're advancing to the grand finals. I'm super excited to see what happens.
Likewise, you nailed that one on the head. Their give and take, the gas and brake kind of analogy that we were gonna say. It's huge. And you know what? You know what else? You guys also deserve to be healthy, to be satisfied, to be full. How else can I say? You guys deserve control. And you know what? Endless, I want to bring it up. We do this every time, but guys, GLG 10 code on control gets you 10% off. Um, it helps us, it helps you. It's what your body deserves, keeps you healthy, keeps you fueled, keeps you gaming. And guys, make sure you use that code. It enters you into a giveaway as well. And yeah, it's all around good for you guys. Valam, Kevin, you want to tell them about Valam before we sign off here?
Yeah, Valam is gonna happen end of January. So I believe the first one is the 27th of wait, no, not the 27th. Today's the 27th. What am I talking about? It's the 2nd of February actually. The first qualifier. No, it's actually the 8th and 9th. Sorry. 8th and 9th of February. First qualifier is happening. There's 4 qualifiers. The first one's sponsored by Trade Like Pros. And on top of that, it's a Valam series. So it's only Immortal Plus. First place prize for each qualifier, you get $100, right? So it's a big difference from the $50 that you would win here. But on top of that, the top 2 teams, they get entered to our basically grand finale, which is a $2,000 grand prize, right? So, I mean, what more can you ask for? It's an amazing event. We're super excited to get it started. Again, also Pit of Valor for next week is open. Doesn't matter what rank you are, just come out and have fun. It's free to enter. You have a chance to get casted, build some chemistry with your team, and I mean, why not? It's the best atmosphere to basically practice as a team, gain experience, build that chemistry that we were talking about.
100%. Why not, indeed? And guys, why don't you guys stay tuned here? Don't leave. We're going to be walking over to the mainstream and catching the grand finale over there. So please stay put. We're going to be rating. Big ups. Much love from Endless and I. Want to sign off for the night. Take it easy, guys. Peace.
Peace. Closest starts to end up on the brink. I tried so hard, but all these scars, they cut so deep, I bleed. I fell so fast from heaven, it's like someone clipped my wings. Now I'm falling, and I can't see the ground. Can we stop this gravity? It keeps bringing me down.